Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to Elder Scrolls 5. I'm going to be skipping through this, guys. Just FYI. Alright, in this wild, untamed land of the Khajiit. Okay. Skipping through. In addition to this enticing zone, we've added the Necro class, which I think people are aware of at this point. So we get a whole new class. There's a new new trial, I should say, new 12-man trial. I know that's here you go. For challenging group experience, we got the new trial, Sunspire. This is the first time you'll find each Dragon Boss has its own hard mode. Wow. If you complete all the achievements in the trials, you get a Sunspire Champion Cinch Lion mount. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. A mount achievement. I like that. All right. PTS, yada, yada, yada. And we'll get on that. So, again, I'm going to skip through a lot of stuff. I'll let you know. I really want to hit combat stuff and anything that ties to that or some Cyrodiil stuff. Okay, this is what to do on the PTS. Okay. New class Necro. We've already reviewed Necro a bit in the trial. Okay. New sets. We did see these. This is hulking for Magicka. All crouching. Okay, that's all right. Undertaker. Healing, health. You play minor lifesteal. I don't like that. All right, I don't like that at all. I don't know. That's okay. Healing done, healing taken, max health, being damaged, increase your healing received by 6%, and resists for only 2.5 for 3 seconds. I mean, I guess it's 100% uptime though. But yeah, all right. When you res an ally, you and your ally gain spell and weapon damage and 10% cost reduction to all abilities for 10 seconds. I wonder if that means ult cost reduction. Usually it does when it says all. That's a wild set. I mean, great stats. Great stats already, just right there. Obviously a Necro set for mass res. What's interesting is this is its own buff. I guess it stacks with major whatever. I forget what the hell it's called at this point. It's weird. I thought they were trying to push everything into major minor, but then they always come out with stuff that's not major minor. Alright. When you heal yourself or an ally, summon Cabal's Noble Mount Honor, who after 2 seconds casts a healing spell on you and allies around him that heal for 12.9 over 4. When you damage an enemy. Oh, right, I remember this set. Yeah, we saw this. Okay. Again, good base raw stats there, but then we got some trial sets. Reduce the cost of your Magicka. Okay, this is the Magicka version of the other stamina set. VO. Okay, I remember that one. Major Slayer. When you activate synergy. They never changed that, huh? 100% uptime, Major Slayer. Here we go, baby. So there's that. When you taunt an enemy, you give you and yourself and 11 group members minor carriage. Can happen every 8 seconds. Wow, that's an easy way for minor carriage. That would be used in PvP. That'd be a good one, actually. When an ally activates one of your synergies, you get 12% cost reduction on non-ult abilities for 3 seconds. Can occur every 6. Huh. It's a lot of cost reduction, 12. Okay, and then perfected versions, which is an extra stat per spot. All right. Thanks. You can update the PTS. It's all good. I got it running. We'll roger that. I have to run so we can figure it out. Okay, kid. Yeah. I'll either message you on Twitch or you can hit me on Discord. Okay. I'll get that for you, dude. Sorry. Got Got bombarded with this to do. New collectibles. I'm gonna move past this for now. Dies, titles, housing, motifs. Guild Finder. A new tool for connecting players to like-minded guilds. Ooh. Alright. New guild features. Add the ability to blacklist accounts from your guild. Ooh. That's kind of cool. PvP weapon artifacts. Here we go. Artifact weapon can be wielded by any player in Cyrodiil and spawns in the world about 4 or 5 times a day. You must keep feeding the weapon alliance points. Repairing structures or resurrecting other players does not count. Or else the power of the weapon will drain your life and it kills your character. I wonder when does it go away then? Is it one guy picks it up and once he dies it's gone? Or does he die and drop it and then someone else can pick it up? Otherwise, why would it keep spawning? So I wonder what the going away rules are on that. So, reload your launcher. Okay. Oh, hang on. I gotta kill... Of course, ESO doesn't close. Alright. Let me reload it. There we go. Alright. We'll let it run. Okay. Cyrodiil campaign adjustments. Keeping with the Season of the Dragon, we will be introducing 6 new campaigns with new rules. 6 new ones on top of what we have? Oh wait, we hope you enjoyed your time in Vivek, Shore, and So Thinking. They will all be shut down. God bless. Alright, so they're putting out new ones. And we'll have a 30 no CP, a 30 CP. These 2 will be alliance locked. So they want to test the alliance lock. If you don't know about this, that's happening. Which means you'll just be locked to your alliance when you pick it. So you can't play on DC one day, then EP the next. Then we still have a 7-day CP, like Shore. So we currently, and then we have below 50. So we have this right now. Oh, okay, and then they have an Imperial City with no CP and CP. I could spend time on this. I figure they just implement this, but like the way Imperial City is right now, it's more of a PvE zone than a PvP zone. People don't go there for PvP; they go there for PvE, and they can end up PvPing. But the point is, there's no real point to going there on no CP. Now, some people might go to the no CP version to hide from people, you know, killing them on the CP maybe. But it's very tough to farm mobs on no CP compared to CP. It's doable. You can do it, absolutely, but... Okay. Interesting. Anyway, we'll just move past that. Alliance lock campaigns, new style, only applied 30-day. There are 2 methods of locking in your alliance for a campaign. In both cases, alliance selection is determined by the alliance of your character you're currently logged in with. Method 1, assign a home campaign to the alliance store menu. Method 2, enter Cyrodiil in your campaign you've not previously joined. Once you've locked in your alliance, only characters in the same alliance in your account will be allowed to enter Cyrodiil in that campaign. There's no option to change your locked alliance until the campaign duration has elapsed. Multiple in-game notifications have been added to warn you. Okay. Alright, we'll see how that goes. You know, we only fight Covenant, so easy. I'd only solo farm IC and no CP with Armor Master for the video. Yeah, some people do that. Imperial Physique on non-CP, you can still... Everything pans out well. I mean, the point of IC is you really want as many... You don't want to split it up. I get they made a CP and a non-CP. You know... They should ultimately be trying to rework CP, find a solution, and then ultimately put it into one. But we'll see. IC is now its own campaign. The doors in Cyrodiil have been shut down. To get to Imperial City, you simply use the menu to queue up. Note that IC now has its own pop cap, which is now removed from Cyrodiil's. Right. Okay. Ooh, Emperor leaderboard has also been adjusted. Once you have served as an Emperor in a campaign, you cannot be crowned as an Emperor for a different alliance for the rest of the campaign's duration. You cannot be crowned as an emperor for a different alliance. Okay, was that happening? I guess. Okay. Maybe on shore. Maybe on something that's real dead. Reworked item sets. Okay. New 5-piece bonus. When enemy dies within 28. Okay, this was a PvP set. Instead, when you recently when an enemy you recently damaged dies, you heal. Huh. I didn't even know. Man, that would have been killer in Vivek when you're lagging out of your mind and everything's dying around you. I didn't even realize that. Okay, now you have to tag them. Warlock, when you fall below 33%, you get 9k. This is now when you fall below 25%, you get 11.3 every 45 seconds. Where's the Stam version? Maybe it's going to be right below here. Probably not. Where's the Stam version, dude? That's a lot. That's insane. Like, do you guys think they did adjust trappings in the same way? This trapping's going to be 11.3k stamina. Trapping's got a buff, I think. All right, we'll see. Probably. Oh, here's trappings. Yeah. Wow. Get your trappings, boys. Get your trappings. It's a good set already. In non-CP, it's a very good set. Now it's really good. All right. Wow. Okay. Then Essence Thief. This is an IC set. Very funky proc design. Let's see what they did with it. When you deal damage or light attack, you draw an essence from the enemy. Collecting the essence heals you for 39, which is less. Gives less stam. Increases damage by 10 for 10 seconds. Essence only lasts 5 seconds and spawns closer to your target. So they just reworked how it spawns, maybe, the little bubble. Because it's really kind of goofy how it works. It's a very unique mechanic. There's not much else like it, I think. But they just kind of nerfed it a bit, I guess. Okay. Huh. It was, like, not a used set, really. That I know of. They got rid of the chance to proc it. Sorry, did I miss that? Oh, yeah, I did. When you deal damage or light attack, you draw an essence from the enemy. What's the cooldown? Essence lasts 5 seconds. What's the cooldown? 10 seconds? That's going to be so much easier to use now. It's going to be very strong if it's guaranteed up front. No cooldown. It's got to have a cooldown. Until you use the essence. So if you pop the essence, pick it up, then you can proc it again. There's no way that's balanced. That's not... Yeah, even if it was 10-second cooldown, it's still very good. Alright. Alright. Maybe it's broken for now. I guess it'll have to get fixed.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, Leeching Plate. When you damage, yeah, this was a good... This wasn't a bad set. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking of a different one. I know Leeching Plate. This is the Cloud one. Yeah, it's very small radius, 4 meters. They moved it to 5. What else? They gave, instead of 4% healing taken, more max health. When you deal, or when you take damage, you have 20% chance to summon the Cloud. Deals 12k still. 1 more meter in the radius. That's it. They just gave it another meteor. It's not the worst set, but okay. I mean, if you were face tanking and there was a lot of multiple people in that little thing, it would heal pretty significantly. But it's kind of an interesting thing. But all right, and then we have Affliction, which was the disease damage one. Every 4 seconds, you had a 50% chance. Okay. Instead, they gave it stam recovery, and then when you deal damage, you have a 50% chance to deal an additional 1830 disease and give them minor defile for 4. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you could stack that with Sword and Board then to great effect. All right. Disease end defile? Yeah, buddy. They're very minor changes. Very interesting. I thought they were really going to rework those sets functionally. But The one that's pretty brutal is Essence Thief. You know, this set's always been good on its numbers. It has a really funky mechanic, and it was a chance. So when you're in the middle of fights, it was tough to know, like, reliably when to pick this up. It's a very strong buff. You know, it's more than minor Berserk. But yeah, and then it gives huge restore. Get interested in Essence Thief before it goes live. So now it just procs up front, looks like. Anyway, got some new motifs. Okay, Sky Shard stuff. All right. More info about the PTS dungeon. Okay, adjust the health and damage of monsters in the CP-enabled IC campaign. Expect the denizens of the sewers and districts to hit harder and be tougher overall. Okay. Treasure scamps now spawn more frequently. Adjusted the pathing of various treasure scamps so they'll no longer disappear when moving from point to point. Okay. So there's some IC changes. Not much for PvP, but, you know. Sky Shard? What about Sky Shard? Oh, is that the thing where we can buy the buy them for other people, right? Here, hang on, let me look at it again. Sky Shard achievement for alternate characters. Fully completing Sky Shard Hunter achievement on one character will now unlock the ability to purchase that achievement on other characters. The purchased achievement will award and associated skill points or any remaining skill points that your current character has not yet acquired. Please note, you must log into each character on your account to register your achievements. Once you have logged into them, other characters will be able to purchase. So, yeah, if you start a new character, then you'll be able to fly up. I wonder what the cost is on that. That's it's not a bad idea. I think they may expand that for other things, such as Mage's Guild or Psijic. Okay? Everyone wants it for Psijic immediately. That would be good. I'd be interested in that. Alright. Sky Shard Farm's the only reason I hate leveling alts. I mean, I don't need that many skill points when I level an alt. I usually have a job and a purpose for it. And I just get what I need. I usually do dungeons, fly through a couple zones, do the group events. But, yeah, it's nice. I would love it for the Psijic quest. The Mage's Guild can be good, too.
You son of a bitch.
Okay. Alright, Gypsy. Not even interested. Next thing will be unlock titles for alts. Yeah? Yeah, that could happen. I'd see them expand that a bit, probably. So they fixed the giant clams? Where? I don't know what was wrong with them. Irrelevant. Here we go. Combat and abilities. This is what I love. Alright. As mentioned in this post a couple weeks ago, main focus of this patch is bringing abilities in line with our standards for specific categories in terms of cost, damage, ranges. We actively wanted to avoid homogenization of how abilities interact with mechanics, but more so wanted to ensure we had a healthy standard to follow and build abilities like Necromancer within the future so players could identify patterns, better employ them in their own play styles. The focus in this update is mainly on class abilities, but touched outwards to a few specific categories such as point blank, area effect, and damage over time abilities. That being said, there's still plenty of other change outside of this, including a lot of bug fixes with abilities and how they rank up. Expect to see this focus moving forward as we continue our ability audit. All right. Gilliam's had the auditor hat on. He's going around and he's calling shit out. What's up, Lemons? How you doing, dude? All right, after accepting a resurrection by another player, your character will now have 3 seconds of being in Ghost from form before being active again. As opposed to what? It's longer than 3. I don't actually know how long it is. I think it's like 6 or 7. Does anybody know? Basically, you can res fat, man. it's nice to like be able to res, but like if you just get mass overwhelmed and like I've been in this situation before. Like I don't do much small man in these days, but like when you're small man and you're against a lot of people, you kill half them, and they're just chaining out reses. You're bashing them, but you can't. You run out of stamina bashing people from reses. Like that can happen. You just can't sit there in the damage and bash reses. But like to get people back in the fight so easily, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of just coming into the fight easier, better, faster, and stronger. It's like there's no loss for dying, you know? It's after being res by others. After you accept the res, you have 3 seconds to move around. Impervious to damage and CC. They gave you Ghost Form after getting picked up instead of standing up instantly. That's right. You're talking off being res, not dying from, like, NPC or whatever. What's the point of being in Ghost Form, then? Off a player res. I guess this isn't PvP. Or PvE. I guess it doesn't matter. What's the purpose? What's the aim? God damn. Ginger, what's with people today, dude? Good God. You probably get 3 seconds of regen as well. I guess it's to get up and reposition or whatever. I kind of still don't like that, right? Like, if you kill people in a pile, you can usually guard the pile. I don't know. Overall, like, one of the things I really, really don't like about Cyrodiil PvP right now, it's so driven to just bypass actually attacking a keep. The experience of sieging a keep, if you go on offense and there's defenders, you usually have to outnumber them significantly or have some kind of advantage to actually push on them. And the way what they're doing with Siege is not a bad idea to make Siege more effective. However, when Siege is very effective, it's very hard to go on offense. As a result, 90% of keeps taken are undefended. People run and take a group to somewhere where there's nobody home, and they blast through the door before anybody can even get there in time. And it starts turning into just racing. And it's stupid. Like, the goal of, siege combat should be to experience the siege. And there's no punishment for dying. So if you're on defense, you can hail in siege and just endlessly respawn and charge out the gates and just, run into them and overwhelm them. I don't like that. And the same thing goes hand in hand with just, being able to easily res out number 2. There's like no disadvantage to anything there. I don't like that part. I knew they were going to allow mass res for players, but like I was hoping they'd do some kind of res sickness or some kind of cooldown, something. Trying to make it more casual friendly. I hear you, but it doesn't make sense because what happens is what I just described. People don't want to go on offense and experience the real siege. They want to go and hit something that's completely undefended. And they'll be like, all right, well, we'll up the defense on keeps. Okay, now keeps take longer to kill. And it actually doesn't help the problem, right? It probably goes against everything, but like, could there be a punishment to death? Maybe even if you die and you respawn in a keep, it takes a little bit of time. If you die within like a minute, it'll take a little bit longer. If you die within 3 minutes of that, it'll take a little bit longer. So you're not just like, duh, run out the door, die. Duh, run out the door and die. Because when 30 people do that, they will run people out of resources. It's just, it's kind of dumb. But the problem will be seen even more with very large parties that have a lot of necros. Take out forward camps like they took out NPC spawn scrolls. What does that do? Forward camps, again, hurts the people on offense. It's not the people on... The people on defense have the advantage if they're there at the keep. They should have an end advantage, but they should not have an endless respawn with strong siege advantage. It encourages pretty stupid play where you literally just keep pouring and pouring and pouring people onto them until you burst the keep, at which point it dramatically changes. Once the keeps burst, everyone's inside. They're on defense. It's now actually a siege. It's not a siege until it's bursted, really. You know? If the keep is flagged, they can't res up. Okay, I get it. What do you do in between? That's what I'm talking about. You don't arrive at a keep and it's bursted. You have to bring your force there, set up siege and attack, and burst it. That's the hard part. It discourages going on offense so much. It encourages you to avoid the fight and take an empty keep, and then go on defense there. But who wants to play musical chairs out in Cyrodiil? You know, you want to engage on the fight. And you want to make things that really encourage it. Again, having some kind of, like, they could keep respawn how it is right now, and if you die successively, this could apply whether you respawn immediately at a camp, if you respawn immediately at a keep, or if you get rezzed. If you're dying successively, maybe start to add a little timer to it. Just a little bit. Start to drag it out. If you die fucking 15 times in a row in 3 minutes, give the guy a little timer. Be like, hey, dude, stop just running into them. You know, something. Because when 20, 30 people do that, they will run you dry. And that's dumb. What do you think about the group size nerf from Cyrodiil? Is that real? Did they finally do it? I think you're trolling. We'll check it out. All right. Stop feeding noob. I don't know what that means. That'll make the casual players I mean, it's something you adjust to. Like, that's not a strategy. That's not a casual mindset. To be like, oh, I'll just die repeatedly. It's like, listen, the last couple times I was at a keep fight and I died repeatedly out front of the door, I got a cooldown. Maybe I should do something else. Maybe I should hop on the wall and shoot a ballista. Maybe I should snipe from the wall. Maybe I'll scout or go around to the camp. And here's the thing. When you try to do that, like, you can create an environment for casuals, and I have nothing against that. But you don't want to dumb down the combat. You don't want to destroy the siege experience. That's why people come and play these MMOs. Okay? But, yeah. Do it when it's pop-locked. Try going on offense against 60 people to keep that's not bursted. 60 people are going to pour out of that thing. You could swipe them out 30 at a time. And they're just going to keep pouring out another 30. Another. You know? Kill one. The other one. Like, and that's what happens. Multiple raids come. And you're like, boy, why is the server lagging? Why do you think? You know? Because those 60 guys are just going to keep pouring in. You know?
You son of a bitch.
I don't even take it as a casual strat. It's not. It's just, it's not. Those explain to me how it is. It's not. You know, I could say sieging's a casual strat. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, whatever. We'll move on. I am concerned about that. That's like a big, large-scale meta change. Because I really do enjoy Cyrodiil. I always have. And I think the siege experience is being ruined, okay? I'm not saying something that's unrealistic when I'm saying, like, literally 80-90% of keeps at flip, there's no defenders. All right, you have to look at that statistic and say, that's really stupid. Like, something's wrong with that design. Let's get some keep fights that are fun, because they are fun. But when a majority of people take their keeps because they went somewhere people were not intentionally to avoid PvP to take the keep, that is a problem. That is not the game I wanted to buy. I don't think anyone wants to buy it. All right? If you guys went pick up an MMO at the store and you just read on the back, it's like, experience large-scale PvP battles and capturing empty keeps. I'm in, dude. Count me in. I want to hit the empty keeps where there's no one home. Like, that's, you go out to Cyrodiil to PvP, not slam doors and go on defense to gain the advantage. Doesn't make sense. Shadow Song, thank you for the prime. Welcome in, dude. Another one. Anyway, let's keep going. You know, Maybe we can get to that one in the future.
You son of a bitch.
Fix an issue where pets were only having their healing received from Battle Spirit reduced by 50 rather than 50%. Jesus. Mary and Joseph. I hate pets right now. Fix an issue where pet shield sizes were not properly reduced by Battle Spirit. Good. Get out of here, Magicosaurus, just running around with your pet Zerk spamming shields, being invincible. I'm done with it. Remove the 200 MS post-global cooldown from cast time abilities. This was done to improve the feeling of... I love that word. Of use... I'll tell you why I love this. And I'm not trying to dog what's happening here. It's great. But every time I read this phrase, and I've seen it so many times in reading patch notes over the years with ESO, every time I see the phrase improving the feeling, it does the opposite. It doesn't feel as better. Now, this sounds like it should be, removing the global cooldown. This sounds like you'd be able to weave better. But I'm just saying, every time I see the phrase improving the feeling, like, it doesn't. Okay. But okay, this should. And not intentionally. It usually doesn't improve the feeling because what they meant to do didn't work. And they actually did something else, and it screwed something else up. But here's hoping. I'm all for it. So they're improving the feeling of using these abilities in rapid succession with other abilities to allow for a more fluid transition, less downtime between usage. We also made some adjustments to the cast time and power levels of specific abilities, which will be called out on a per-case basis in further notes. Note that channeled beam attacks such as Soul Assault and Radiant retain the post-global cooldown, but have had them reduced to 100 rather than 200. This is done to prevent animation errors. Okay. Maybe hammering the button will stop you from spam casting it now. Oh yeah, brother. Could help Cyrodiil too overall, but we'll see. Player abilities that fear targets will no longer cause them to flee in terror. Instead, they will now cower in terror, unable to move while feared. Note that this is not affect abilities that monsters can cast. Okay, so I guess this is just like Nightblade and Werewolf. I'll tell you what. It's a good change for a couple reasons. The users that actually use this, if you fear a pile of targets, same thing as DK Leap. Causing your targets to disperse can be bad if you're trying to AoE them with your group. This instead would keep them in place and be very strong. The other thing this probably is targeting, I think the main reason they made this change is because for the last 5 years, if you've been feared somewhere, you have a good chance of running through the wall or the ground in the game. That's always been a thing. They're probably trying to fix that. So now you won't get stuck under the floor in Cyrodiil. Alright. Fear now affects 6 people, are you kidding me? It's a little OP. A little OP. The Nightblade double trap, it's a little OP, dude. You can fall through the map in BGs too. Yeah, it happens in anywhere. You can do it in IC, everywhere. And you could use that to get under the world in Cyrodiil. Alright. Now that it's fixed, we can talk about it. There's a bug we never reported. I think I learned that one from Scribes. Scribes would go under the world and set up siege under the world and shoot it up at players. He was on a whole nother level, Scribes. We need him back. Anyway. Improve the reliability of charge and teleport abilities when attempting to use them against high mobility targets. The snare that's briefly applied when casting one of these abilities on targets is increased to 60% from 30%. Oh, please don't let it be the gap closer freeze meta all over again. God help us. Some gap closers did miss on fast targets. That's basically what it is. Here's a question: did you fix leap? Will leap hit high mobility targets? Or am I gonna leap at some guy limping away in heavy armor and still miss him? Come on, baby. Where's that DK love? Wings out, baby. It's the best feeling until you land and you do 0 damage. All right. Yes, they did fix leap. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I can leap all right, like 400 meters and the dude gets hit, all right, then we'll celebrate on stream. All right, we'll drop the big plays, everything. Believe it when I see it. It's not the first time we've heard DK's getting fixed on its leap, all right? Just saying. But that would be excellent. That'd be excellent. I'm all for it. I'll tell you what, these are a lot of, like, mechanical issues. If at least 50% of what's in here actually does work, like if I get feared and I don't run under the world, if I gap close and I actually hit my target, like stuff like that, I mean, that'll be a great success. A lot of times they don't. Because these are mechanical fixes. These aren't like numeric bounce changes right here. These are like, you know, someone's got to get in there and code. And that just seems like Pandora's box. Doesn't seem like they've got in there and done it for a while. All right, let's keep reading. All immobilizers from player abilities and item sets will now apply immobilization immunity once applied to prevent multiple immobilizers from applying on the same target. Once an immobilizer from these abilities ends, you gain immunity for 3 seconds, similar to the dodge roll mechanic. Nice. Previously, immobilizers were an overbearing tool that completely shut down builds with lower stam pools and could keep them from moving for extremely long periods of time. With this new system, we want a healthier balance to how these abilities interact, similar to crowd control functions. Good shit. Well done. Fixed an issue where visual effects of roll dodge fatigue would not be removed if you used roll dodge multiple times in quick succession. Note this was purely a visual error, and the cost increase will be... Okay. All right, cool. There's a little streaks coming off your... Okay. Okay. Pets no longer attempt to aid their owners in sieging destructible keeps and bridges pieces, for they are powerless against the might of superior craftsmanship. Okay. Fix an issue where status effects could be dodged. Okay. What do they mean? Status effects could be dodged. What's an example? Fair. So what happens with coders when it's fired or leave? They get rid of the coder hella fast to prevent them from trying to do anything malicious if he or she... Okay, most people don't do that. They don't do anything malicious with the code. If they do, they're not going to have a good time getting a job after that. Plus, they can face charges, which Bethesda would do. They'd have no problem doing that. But yeah, I mean, if people leave, you can even get other people that understand it, but it's when the code's pretty deep and it's all tied together. Change one thing, it hits something else. Anyway. People rolling the ticks from fire. Excuse me, from fire ballistas. Okay. Was that a thing that was happening? I didn't even know. I think Venom shot that does damage and then applies a dot. Okay. Hit with a fire staff, procs burning. You could dodge that burning. Yeah, I didn't even know that you could. I knew Nightblades could clean it off on a tick, but all right. Cool. That's cool. All right. Weapon swapping while an arrow is in midair will no longer cause the arrow to disappear. The ability is reserved for magicians at magic trick shows, which we do not support in combat. Okay, dying on destructible structure in Cyrodiil will no longer cause your corpse to magically float in the air. If the destructible to break, your character has already died. Okay. Updated some visuals of class abilities no longer apply visible seams in their visual effects, such as magma armor, blessing, and protection. Okay. Bust debuffs. Fix an issue where health recovery reduction of major minor defile were being considered an additional negative effect on purge abilities that could only remove a limited amount of effects. The health recovery reduction of major minor defile were being considered. Oh, wow. They were doubling up, huh? Ooh. That explains. Okay. All right. Dragon Knight, Ardent Flame. Here we go. Class changes. Everybody's been cheering for Peppo hypes in the chat for DKs, it looks like. Fiery Breath. Increase the damage of the initial hit of this ability by 200% to be on par with PBAOE standards. The base ability will now rank up the damage entire ability rather than just the dot. So that's a big upfront. Increase the damage of this ability and Smorfs by 20% to put it on par with our gap closer standards. Ooh. Improve the responsiveness of the pull speed from this ability to reduce situations where players were still CC'd after the pull was complete. Yeah. Okay. Inferno. This ability and Smorfs now operate like Flames Oblivion Morph, where they will scale with your highest offensive stats. Also increase the power of these abilities by 5%. The Oblivion Morph. This morph no longer exclusively adds the dynamic scaling mechanism. Instead, the morph retains the gaining of major savagery and hits one additional enemy. Oh. It's another one. Twofer? Alright. Lava Whip reduced the cost of this ability in S'mores by 5% to put it with other melee spammables. What's a melee spammable? I'm just a stam circ. Rework this ability so it no longer grants a passive bonus to weapon and spell damage while slotted. Instead, this passive grants access to Seething Fury, a 33% damage bonus to your next Molten Whip cast, and an increase of 125 weapon and spell damage every time you activate an Ardent Flame ability that is not Molten Whip. The bonus can stack up to 3 times, last 5 seconds, will refresh the duration every time it's applied. The previous Molten Whip was under budgeted in terms of total power compared to Flame Lash. And rather than reducing that morph, we wanted to bring this one up to par. Additionally, we like how Flame Lash has the potential to disrupt a static rotation in combat. So we wanted to add a diverse bonus that would allow you to engage in different ways. Now the caster can decide to simply follow a normal rotation or attempt to save up for a heavy-hitting attack after building up stacks. Please note, however, this will operate similarly to the previous Molten Whip, where your bonus will only be active on the bar that's slotted on. Options, dude. Lord Fang, thank you for 2 months. Welcome back in. Another one. So there you go. I honestly don't know how that'll pan out, but it's got some nice numbers on it. I mean, but we'll see. In conjunction with I like that one a lot. Fire Your Breath one. Searing Strike adjusted this ability in S'mores to follow our standardized dot rule set. Decrease the total duration to 8 from 8.5. Increase the dot by approximately 12.5% to make up for the loss of the first tick. This will result in roughly the same overall DPS, but with less burst damage. Okay. So it's more of a pure dot. Still no Stam Whip, so much hate. Yep. Son of a... Draconic Power. Coagulating Blood increased the heal this morph by approximately 19% to put it in line with other burst heal abilities. Dark Talons increase the damage of the initial hit of this ability and S'mores by 25% to put it on par with other PvAOE. Increase the damage of the initial tick and its morphs. Burning adjusted the tick frequency and delay, so this ability followed our standards. Duration remains at 4 with a 1-second delay, but now ticks 4 instead of 3. Okay, just a little more damage on Talon. Nice. Getting stronger and stronger, DK. So here we go. Dragon Leap increased the radius of this ability and some more to 8 meters from 6.5. It also now applies a more aggressive snare to targets it is cast on to prevent them from being able to outrun the AoE damage when it lands. The DKs are coming. Wings out, baby. Oh, man. That's nice. Good for them. Hardened Armor. The damage shield granted from this ability will no longer extend in duration as the ability ranks up, but rather it will increase by 1.1% in size per rank. Okay. Adjusted the tooltip to state the value of the shield rather than the percent health it was based off of. Okay. Alright. Inhale. Increase the damage of the initial hit of this ability and S'mores by 25%. Nice. Increase the damage of the delayed explosion by approximately 7%. Okay. This was done to adhere to the ability in the AoE standards. Note the initial hit of the abilities is half of the AoE standard because it heals for 100% of the damage caused, which takes it to get started. Remove the 6 target cap for the heal, interrupt, and resource restore for this ability. Note, this ability puts this ability into the Rule Breaker category. The Rule Breaker category. Can we get more rule breakers, please? Let's get it in there. Put the master two-hander. Put him in the rule breaker category. All right. I'm ready to just break down a whole ball group with one swing to rule them all. I will be spamming inhale. I bet you will, Yin Yang. I believe it. Yeah. Yeah, this would be pretty fierce with Emperor. Okay. But, all right. Here we go. So I can interrupt 37 people at once with inhale? You're a god, dude. Yeah. What's a rule breaker ability? It means the normal mechanics don't apply to it. Hard code override. All right, reflective scale. Rename this ability to protective scale. Convert the reflect function into a 50% damage reduction from projectiles. This happened to all 3 versions of the ability. This makes me sad. I'm gonna miss you DKs. You're getting buffs around, but man, that sucks. It's like it's not that that's bad, because it's not. It's a lot of reduction, and it just lasts, I guess, for the duration. Which, all right, this ability no longer increases damage with the reflected attack since it no longer reflects. Incoming projectiles will now cause you to launch a fiery orb at the attacker that deals flame damage. Wow. Reflective plate. Rename this to protective. No other changes were made to this ability's function. Previously, reflex were allowing extremely unhealthy gameplay that granted the caster an effective 100% damage mitigation on top of the ability to return harmful damaging of controlling effects back at the caster. Additionally, the target requirements made this ability extremely polarizing in performance, going from absolute denial of range attacks to offering little effective power when being bombarded with multiple projectiles. We will be closely monitoring the performance of this ability in both operational and mathematical bets. All right. All right. Here's another phrase I would like clarity on. All right. If I was sitting in the room, I'd be like, can you define what falls into the category of extremely unhealthy gameplay? Because I can think of some other things that might go in that bucket. All right. But let's just move on. You're thinking the same thing? Yeah. I can think of some extremely unhealthy gameplay that we could use a fix or two for. Counterplay is unhealthy. That's right.
Son of a bitch.
I understand the whole concept. I don't want to spend much time on it, but you could put wings up to reflect ranged like 100% of the time. Again, you know, if you're like one-on-one with some guy. But since when did we build for one-on-ones? Okay, if you're out there, you know, in BGs or Cyrodiil, you're going to run out of magic of spamming wings. And if you don't, your build is not going to allow you to do much damage. I don't know. It's not like there were groups of DKs running around. People like, fuck, all we have is range damage. We can't take them out. The group of DKs is invincible. No, there's a bunch of like ice wardens you'll see in like a blob. Like, all right. Or a BGQ, a full pet Sorks, and it's like, what's extremely unhealthy gameplay? All right. But, all right. Here we go. Wings a hard counter, need to change. I get it. I get the idea. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna go back and forth fighting on it. It does make me a little sad. All DK wings, all the reflects. I mean, it slowly got stripped down on what it was reflecting. So anyway, here we go. Earthenheart, Ash Cloud increased the healing of this ability by approximately 15%. Okay. Adjust this ability to follow our standardized damage over time rule set. Added a 1-second delay between the initial hit and the first damage tick. And increase the damage per tick by 9% to make up for the first tick loss. Also increase the damage of the initial hit by approximately 35%. Cinder increased the healing by approximately 4%. Earthenheart adjusted the duration of these skills so that their final ranks land on integers rather than fractions when you have rank 2 of Eternal Mountain. This has resulted in the following changes. Okay, it's just going to move everything. So basically they want things landing on an integer and, you know, not a fraction. No decimal points, guys. All right, get them out of here. It's bad for the code. I imagine this will come to the CP system in time as well, this thought process. Anyway, Obsidian Shield. Fixed an issue where this ability in its Igneous Shield morph was increasing by 1 per level rather than 1.1% per level. Ooh, okay. They're really getting rid of all those integers. Or fractions. Okay. Nightblade, here we go. Brew, you can't even try to say wings weren't broken. Okay. I won't try to say it. We've already moved past that one. Nightblade, Assassination, Deathstroke. This ability in Incap will no longer apply Major Defile to the target. Let me start over. Nightblade, Assassination, Deathstroke. This ability in Incap will no longer apply Major Defile to the target. Yeah, buddy. Where's that been? How long we've been looking at this skill? How long? Incap morph. This morph now applies a minor mangle to the target. Okay. For the duration of the stun cast with 120 or more ult. Ooh, minor mangles. Countered if you play a Warden, you're good. Soul Harvest retains all its current functionalities. Beautiful. Alright. The wings change is... I can deal with it a little better now. Nightblade, not a real class. What's minor mangle? It tears down your max health. Right? That's the one on Impulse right now, for example. Yeah, minor mangle. That's a 10% reduction of max health. Which is interesting, because if you hit a target with Incap, then, and you apply minor mangle, does it do the damage, then hit him with mangle, or does mangle apply, then the damage? And this matters, you know, for obvious reasons. I would think it's the former rather than the latter. The one that would obviously benefit them is if you came in and applied minor mangle, say their health's 20k, it would instead be 18k, then they'd get the full damage. Say your Incap hits for 5k, right? And mangle applies first. They'd go to 18k, then take 5k damage, and end up at 13k health. Whereas if it's the other, if you come in and hit them for 5k at 20, it'll knock them down to, you know, 15k, and then they'll have mangle after the fact, right? I don't know. I don't know how it'll work. But whatever. Mangle, then damage. That'd be good then. You know. Nightblade worst class. Yeah, they're gonna have to invest for Major Defile now. Alright, if you want Major Defile, you're gonna have to be a Warden and Necro. Alright. Sure, a Templar could do it, but let's be real. Everyone wants to run around and snipe. And then Incap, mangle, or I'm sorry, defile you, and then make it hard to recover. Not to mention, they were pretty beastly in duels. As I'm sure any of you that dueled know, you could just sit there and continuously defile through your ult. Amongst other things that it applies. My play now sucks. What else do we got? Grim Focus. Remove the minor berserk from this ability and its morphs. Boom! No more free berserk. The spectral bow now heals for 33% of the damage dealt if you're within 7 meters of the target when firing. Ooh, and you gotta be involved now too. Boy, the Nightblades are getting stripped down. You guys been living on easy street too long out there. Enjoy your slime crawl, yeah? Get your hands dirty, that's right. Free berserk? Yeah, you gotta be a Warden for that, alright? Magic Blade actually useless now? Yeah. Alright. Kicking him while he's down. Fix an issue where this ability in S'mores would continue to persist after logging off. Merciless Resolve now increases healing. Wait, Grim Focus was persisting when you logged off? No wonder the server's lagging. Merciless Resolve now increases healing done to 50%. And Relentless Focus increased the duration to 30 seconds from 20. Additionally, this morph no longer grants minor endurance. Oh. Hit him everywhere. Hit him everywhere. Here we go. Developer comments on Nightblades traditionally, while masters of high single target damage and a wide toolkit were given too many potent tools on skills they'd continue using even without added bonuses. We've removed the minor berserk bonus from this ability since its overall performance is roughly where it should be comparatively to other abilities, and we've introduced a healing bonus to help Nightblade class gain access to more high-risk staying power. Now the caster will want to ensure their target has not prepared themselves with defenses. Otherwise, the heal will return an unsubstantial amount. Additionally, they must be in range of the opponent where they are most susceptible to risk. It doesn't sound like most Nightblades. Alright. Teleport Strike. This ability and its morphs will no longer stun NPC enemies. Instead, targets affected by the initial damage will be afflicted with minor vulnerability for 8 seconds. Note that the minor vulnerability will apply to both players and NPCs. Hey, that's nice. Minor vulnerability is very strong. In order to retain functionality on gap closer abilities, these abilities typically all deal a set amount of damage with consistent range and cost while having a unique affix that helps give each different ability its own identity and flair. Teleport Strike, while visually and thematically satisfying, was lacking in the department of gameplay identity since it was an auxiliary, was inactive in some parts of the game. And who's typing these up? In tandem with the change... In tandem and with the change to Grim Focus, we wanted to ensure Nightblades could still focus on being single-target assassins while needing to utilize a larger variety of tools in their kit. How many times have I seen the word ensure today, dude? There's not that many. Okay. Alright. There's a lot of ensuring going on. Nerf Nightblade to sell more Necro. That's right. It's too wordy. Not really. It's just, it's like I'm talking to a nerd. Or I'm hearing a nerd talk. And not that it's bad. I don't mean it that way, but it's totally someone else typing these up. It's probably Gilliam. Alright. I'm betting big money it's Gilliam is just typing these up. God bless him. I love Gilliam. But that's what I'm betting on. Alright. Anyway, here we go. Is he in here? Oh, God. Tell me he's not. Oh, God. All right. Gilliam, I meant that in the nicest way. And I really do. I do mean it in the nicest way. Like, but who's typing these up, Gilliam? Am I right? Am I right? Or am I wrong? Or maybe you have an intern. Maybe you have an intern. And you're telling him what to write. I don't know. You should at this point. Can the Impaler, 26. Can confirm he is offended. He's not talking or I don't see him. Did we get Gilliam an intern yet? Promote this man immediately. Alright, we'll figure it out. Maybe he's AFK. Maybe he's you know, he's down in the break room. Taking a break. He said it was him. I knew it. I knew it. One of my best experiences actually was sitting at a table with you probably remember Gilliam. We were at Zoss. We were sitting there going through different things. That was a good time.
Hello, cutie pie.
You, me, Outcast sitting there shooting the shit
One of us is in
on different ideas.
trouble.
I was sitting there trying to fix medium armor. Still trying to fix medium armor. Although it's a lot better than it was then, I'll tell you that. We were trying to fix stam DPS. They were irrelevant in PvE then. But it was very fun working with them. Badonk, thank you for gifting in. Gilliam Ogamin. Thank you, Badonk. That first event was a blast. It was. That was an awesome experience. That was. Gilliam works for Zoss now? Fortunately, yes. Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
He's a champion. Really is. He's got a perfect mind for this. So, anyway, let's keep moving. I miss V's ESL. Yeah, don't we all? Let's keep rolling. Backtracking the awkwardness. I'm not. You can read certain things and obviously see, somebody like I've read so many patch notes. You have to understand. And I can see this dramatic change because this isn't the first one. The last one too. I was reading through. I'm like, who's typing these things up? And we saw it in the DK one the most. Where was the one? One of these things. 80% of the people that read one of these things probably got lost. All right. Actively wanting to avoid homogenization of abilities interacting with mechanics, wanted to ensure a healthy standard to follow builds and abilities with the future so players could identify patterns and better employ them in their own play styles. There's certain people going to read that and be like, all right, how much damage am I doing now? What's the build? What's the build, Fangrush? I can't, what the hell's going on here, So, I mean, that's going to happen. See, Ninchi, words too big, I don't understand. So that's all I'm saying. But it makes sense logically. And the other thing is like you're actually making changes with intentions. That's the point. All right. If you're just being like, we made a change and it does more damage, and that's like the general theme, it's like, cool. Then what's the point? Why were you making the change? What is the intended effect? And that's what's being outlined, which is the nice part of the developer comments that have been added. So, anyway, there's just the build. We haven't got it yet. We're still working on it. Let me keep moving. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to get lost in the patch notes. All right, we'll stop tracking Ensure. We had 6 Ensures. 6 Ensures only. I thought there was more. All right, Nightblade. Mass Hysteria this more. I don't think I was there, was I? Oh, no, I was here. Okay, so yeah, the gap closer changed functionality, which makes sense. Didn't really have any. What's up, Rob? Is that the Rob? Is that Rob from Riot? Petition for Crystal Frag Stun. Listen, I want to shoot crystal fragments and I want them to do AoE damage. All right? Please gather the enemies so I can shoot the other crystal frags morph and succeed with great success. I expect to see the rest of the reaction on YouTube. I gotta jump to a meeting. Gilliam, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping through. Keep up the good work, brother. All right, let's keep moving. Get down to business here. We're part of the way through Nightblade here. I don't want to spoil. Aspect of Terror then, Shadow. So this was the fear. This ability and Smorsh no longer snare the target after the fear ends. Thank God. Aspect of Terror now fears up to 3 enemies, up from 2. Okay, and the one drops a double trap. Okay, this morph no longer applies minor maim to the targets. Also increase the number of fear targets to 6 from 2. I like it. So you're making some choices here. I really hate the fear trap. I gotta tell you. I don't like it. And I think it was doing too much too. It wasn't widely used. But the groups that did use it, a lot of large groups, and probably still will use it, a lot of large groups will run like a Nightblading group to purge and stuff. And that's a support functional that they can have in there to drop these fear traps that hit people tailing them. It's good. I'm okay with all that. I hated all the things it did. It's like you get this, fear and then the snare. And so I like that. Fear is OP. It's very strong. I still hate the trap, but, what are you going to do? At least you're not getting snared on top. Anyway, Dark Cloak adjusted how this ability operates. It will now heal the caster instead for 4.5% of their max health every 1 second, and the duration can increase to a maximum of 8 with other passives. This was a burst heal for the most... I'll be honest, I wanted to mess around with the Nightblade Magicka and do some healing support, but I never did. Wasn't it? This was more of a burst heal. Ginger, thank you, brother. Didn't she? Is your fault. It was burst? Yeah, okay. Dark Cloak did not need nerfing. It's more of a heal over time then. The tooltip will now state the value you'll heal for rather than how it scales to prevent confusion. Fix an issue with this ability where the cost reduction for the rank up progression rather than increasing the morph and operating the morph operation of the healing. See, you see what I'm talking about? We fixed an issue where the ability had cost reduction for the rank up progression rather than increasing the morph operation of the healing. What is the morph operation? All right, this will result in a cost increase of approximately 7%, but a healing value increase of approximately 3%. Trade-offs. Trade-offs are good. DKs are great again. Yes, I know. Get amped. DK's been getting love over the past year. They did the other patch too. Things are moving. You know, we got, you know, the wings are getting clipped a little bit, but, you know, but there's some stuff after. So, cool, dude. True related story, though. Somebody did try to impersonate me and took his Twitch name. The account was only following one channel. So are you the real one? Thankfully, Twitch took care of me. Nice. I remember I talked with G about it, too. I was like, can you give me a list of all real Zos names? Because I'd get a ton of them. There was a period I was getting a ton of fake ones in here. And I made a list of them, and then I started banning some of the other ones, even if they didn't mean harm, just to avoid people potentially being sabotaged. And there was some people scamming or something for a little, or I don't know what they were trying to do. But, yeah. Oh, it's good to see you, dude. VIP, the real ones. I did do that. You know, Cipher, if that's how we say it, I don't know. I always ask him, it's Cypher, Cipher. Every time we're doing PVs, Cipher will pop in. I think he's on, I mean, he's on the PvE dungeon team, I guess, under Finn. What a rough life. Imagine working for Finn. Finn makes a living off watching people suffer. Boy, you gotta be in a dark place to make it through that, dude. Whew. Unbelievable. All right, let's keep moving. I don't want to get lost. But Cipher's one of the happiest people I've ever seen, though. It's crazy. It's crazy. Fangers, I understand why you're happy for some Nightblade nerfs. Promote the pussy gameplay. But where's the change for group utility? Optimized groups in Serial often don't need any Nightblade because it's bad in group. Not a bad point, MLP. Not a bad point at all. Their role has really been slotted into being a purge bot. That is what they are very effective at. They have some very unique things. The trap is one of them. The one that's probably one of the biggest is, you know, their carpet heal with the expedition there. You know, their path is very useful too. They're very good at purging and stuff too, though. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, it'd be nice to see some of that too. You know, I don't expect them to do all that in one pass either, though. Right? I expect nothing for Stamsurk. There's probably going to be one bullet in here where it's going to be like changed Hurricane to do 1% damage instead of 1.3. Right? So I hear you. Like, I'd like some new stuff for Stamsurk too. But that's, you know, that's what I expect every time I open it up. Anyway, let's check it out.
You son of a bitch.
All right, Dark Veil. Adjusted the passive to grant a flat 1 and 2 second duration increase to shadow abilities rather than 8 and 15% duration extensions. The duration of these abilities before allocating this passive have been adjusted to ensure total duration remains relatively the same to their current live values. I have a question. No one can probably answer it. You know, just an outward question. You know, like, does it do something for the math? You know, and the coding, changing all these things to integer values. Do we not have any rounding? Was rounding actually taking place? Most things were rounded off, like with the CP system. They were always rounded off. A lot of people don't know that, but that's how it works. And the same applies, you know. So just wonder if it helps. What is the purpose? Is it an on it? Is it like an, you know, is this someone that's just anal about it, or is this actually, you know, I don't know. It's interesting because this is like a full audit on everything, you know. Wow, that guy got banned by 6 people. I've never seen that in my life, dude. Okay, yeah, okay, I get it. Why don't we put on follower mode for a little, just a little bit? Okay. Thank you. Perfect. I think hashtag's feeling left out, and he doesn't know what to do. All right. Here we go. Let's keep it going. What happened? People keep coming in here spamming dumb stuff. Doesn't matter. Taken care of. Thank you, mods. Thank you for doing an excellent job. Summon Shade. This ability now scales with the caster's max magicka and spell damage or stam and weapon. The Shade will now attack every 2 seconds rather than every 1.5. Rename the attack and the Shade. Was the Dark Shade flat? Fixed? If anything, it would have scaled with magicka, but I don't know if it scaled at all. Didn't really do much damage. But they'll now attack every 2 seconds instead of every 1.5. Rename the attacks and the Shade deals with each morph to help improve clarity. Fix and ensure the abilities did not increase in damage as they ranked up. It scaled with magicka? Okay, so it did scale with magicka. And the damage is pathetic, yeah. The ability now deals 50% more damage as part of its morph functionality. The AoE attack it casts can happen 5% more frequently than before and deals 20% more damage in default. That's nice. It was really crappy in that sense. It's damage. You summoned Shade for what it brought to the table, the debuffs it applied, or the morph to teleport or whatever. But okay, good. That's good. Surprise attack. This ability no longer applies major fracture. Oh, rip! Nightblade's done. Pack him up in a box. Ship him out of here. Oh man. No more easy street for you guys. No major fracture and defile and minor berserk building? What do I do? What do I do? Oh man, instead if you use this ability on the flank of an enemy behind or on their sides, you reduce their physical resistance by 5%, which is strong. This effect cannot stack, but will always prioritize the highest value. Oh man. Oh man. 80's freaking out. Oh, 80's gonna have a real surprise, man. I'm gonna have these little wood elves coming up, hitting me with little dinky sticks, you know? Doing nothing. We're just gonna kick them off to the side. Just keep marching. We don't even have to stop for them anymore. I'm loving it. Boy, oh boy. That's wild. No major fracture. I always wondered. I'm like, this thing, it's such a strong spammable, and it's doing fracture, right? Wow. Wow. That's wild. Similar to other changes, this passive was done to ensure Nightblades had less moments of redundancy within its own kit. Since Mark Target exists primarily as the class's way to gain access to Major Fracture and Breach, having a morph of your main ability grant the same thing heavily reduce the value of having Mark Target. So you may look at this and be like, well, yeah, so you can put on Mark Target and you can, you know, still get Major Fracture and then get even more damage with Surprise Attack, which you can. But you only get so many skills on that bar, and it's very hard. It's very hard to do that, but you can do that, and you're going to give up some stuff for it. Welcome to reality, dude, all right? Because the rest of us have been having to do. I like that. God bless the combat team, yeah. Yeah. Rob, who's here? We need someone from ZeniMax. Someone send me a. How do I get? Who do I have to put on a package? I'm sending you guys I'm sending a box of sweet rolls over. All right. Who do I CC on it? Gina? I know Rich isn't there. Rich is doing the worldwide tour right now. All right. Rich is living the high life. All right. He's flying all over the place. Drinking beer in a different country every day. What a god, dude. Thanks. I don't think Rob's been following long enough to talk right now. No, that's okay. We'll get him something. I'm gonna find something for the combat team. This community's gonna do something, guys. We're gonna do something. I'm liking this so far. Hang on, don't let me get ahead of my. Let's finish. Let's finish first. Okay. Guys, easy. You don't need Grim Focus anymore on the Stand Nightblade, so Mark Target is there now. Easy. Boom. Trade Jazu. Veil of Blades. Fix and assure this ability is not getting stronger as the ability ranked up. Total damage at rank 4 will be increased by 6.6%. Whoa! 6.6? 0.6? Hang on, we got a technical error in the patch notes. Alright, no decimal values. Someone messed up. That's, yeah. Oh, man. After everything I've read now, I'm getting a little dizzy from that. They're breaking the streak. All right, siphoning. Cripple. Adjust disabilities and the debilitate morph to follow our standardized damage over time rule set. Increase the total duration to 10 seconds from 8 seconds. And increase the damage per tick. This will result in roughly the same DPS, but over a longer duration. Okay.
One of us is in deep
Not as fierce. Oh, I see. You're saying not following long enough, so can't type in chat. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. People are dropping what can I do? That guy's been around a bit. That just got banned, which is a shame. He was normal. And then he wasn't. That's life, I guess, right? Lonely, thank you for gifting in, Rob. Rob, welcome in. 6.6 on the Richter scale. Yeah. Blacklisted words, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can dodge filters, and yeah, it's fine. Just people being idiots, that's all. Okay. Honestly, Fang, do you see any reason to play a Nightblade in PvP no matter how good you are as a player? I'll tell you where Nightblade does lack, and someone already pointed it out. Even before all these changes, and even after every change I've seen, they lack group utility. That unique group utility. Okay? Group utility will revolve around a lot, you know. In PvE, that's different, right? Now, they were the top DPS, but they have access to, like, you know, the minor crit buff. But, I mean, if you're out in PvP, for example, you bring in different people that do different things. That's the one class I'm not like, God damn it, we need a Nightblade out here. That never really happens. I don't think it you know, kills them there. They can still do what they do out in Cyrodiil. A good player on a Nightblade can still go out there and kill people. They can still burst them. Okay? They can maneuver around these changes and do things. But Nightblades are the ball group purge spammers and have access to amazing healing ult. They do, Odysseus. Don't get me wrong. Like, they do, but that's my point. Like, that's all they can. Like, that's what you have to slot them in. They can also be the offensive, like, they can do the high-end offensive, although I see that more for CP than non-CP. For that super min-max. I'm not saying they have no group utility, because what they do have is pretty unique and cool there. But I don't know. Like, that's it, though, is part of what I mean. Like, even if you do a small man, yes, they can be successful there, but, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not something where they need something extreme, because they can provide magic utility to a group as an effective support or an effective damage dealer. What does a Stam Nightblade do in group? I don't know. I don't know what they bring to the group, other than can you activate the passive so the Wardens can actually kill people? You know, something like that. Right? Fear is greater than negate. It's greater than ult dump, GG. Or you're saying fear then negate then ult up. Yeah, fear's usefulness will go up again, but again, that's not the primary function of, like, a Stam Nightblade. I don't know what a Stam Nightblade's supposed to do other than, like, maneuver, hide, and fight, you know, the way they do right now. They don't really jump into group play effectively, though. That's all I'm saying. That's one thing they could look at is Stam Nightblade. What would you say you do here, right? And you know, look at some of the other ones too. Like Stam Sork can still do Streak and stuff in the same way a Stam Nightblade could do Fear. But you know, and they can also do Negate. The Stam Nightblade can also still do the healing ult, but you don't bring a Stam Nightblade in to do that. You'd be like, get on the real version of you, please. A Magicka group Nightblade, right? Anyway, I'll keep moving. I don't want to get caught up on it too much. I kind of want to get through them. Kill the healer, bash the revives. God bless, yeah. All right, so we're looking at Cripple. They extended the dot here. Reduced the snare to 30 from 40. Crippling Grasp added 2-second delay between the first dot tick and the initial hit. Also increased the damage over time by approximately 25%. Increase the damage of each dot tick by approximately 25% to make up for the damage loss of the first tick. All right, so they spread it out over there. Debilitate, increase the snare potency to 50%. Less damage, more snare. Okay, so that's a utility morph. Realize also this is the first pass on the PTS. If Nightblade is as bad as people are freaking out about, there will be some changes made, and maybe in the following patch they will even double revert some of them and be like this. You know, you never achieve bounce in one pass, okay? You never reach a place where you are 100% bounced either. The goal is to keep things interesting, which is a goal here. I would say that's my goal, to keep things interesting. You know, if I was doing it, it's my opinion. That's part of what they're actually doing here, changing things. But it's never gonna. There's not a bullseye. There's not a target. Okay. I always tell people it's like a boat, right? Bounces like a boat at sea. All right. And all the classes are the little chairs on the deck. All right. Sometimes a big wave comes, and the Nightblade chair goes all the way to the other side. All right. And sometimes it swings back. Okay. It's gonna change, as long as it stays interesting. Okay. But we'll see. Finish log PTS and testing things after you're done. I am. Yeah. Indeed. With all the time we got, we're doing good. We're doing good right now on time. All right. We got to keep moving, though. Drain power. Increase the damage ability of Sap Essence Morphs by 25% to adhere to the PBAOE. Ooh, okay. Ability and Sap Essence now grant major sorcery rather than brutality to better represent the scaling mechanisms of skills use. Power Extraction. Increase the damage of this ability by 20%. This ability continues to grant major brutality. So wait, what? So you just get even... Okay. So they're both still Magicka Morphs then, too. Okay. Yeah, it's good. I mean, offensive Magicka Nightblades and the ball groups, you know, they use drain power, so a little buff there. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm done with Nightblade. I don't care. Set him ablaze. I thought power was stem. The AoE drain, no. Power extraction is stem. Are we talking about the... Is this not the AoE drain? Or am I getting this one mixed up? They effed up the bullet list on that change. What do you mean? Power extraction is stem morph. Okay. I don't know what skill I'm thinking of then. Sap Essence is the other morph. Okay. Yeah, I am thinking of the right one then. Okay. Alright. The other one's stem. I didn't even know the other one got changed to stem. That happened last patch or something? I've never seen anyone use it, if that's the case. There's a stem AoE drain. Power extraction isn't a drain, just AoE damage. Sap Essence is the drain. Power stem, but never used. So it's like a scuffed tornado with less range. It's online, by the way. That's okay. I'm reading the patch notes right now. I'll hop on after. is real bad. Well, that's a shame. You know, that's a shame. It should be looked at then. No one ever run that. Yeah, I've never seen it. It's because power extraction was shitty compared to Steel Tornado. Yeah, a lot of stuff is. A lot of stuff is. But okay, here we go. Let's keep moving then. Siphoning Strikes fixed an issue where this ability in S'mores had a cooldown on the heal. Since light and heavy attacks already have their own unique cooldowns, this previous interaction meant if you had a set such as Blood Moon, you're not gaining the full efficiency of the bonus. I never thought about that with Blood Moon with Nightblade. Huh. Okay. Soul Shred. Increase the radius of ability in the Soul Tether morph to 8 from 6. Wow, wow. Just this morph to adhere to our dot standards. Added a 1 second delay between the initial. Increase the damage by about 4% tick. So will result in the same DPS HPS but with less burst. Fix an issue where this abilities do not get stronger as they ranked up. The initial hit and the dot will both gain 1%. 1.1%? 1.1. We got a link to the patch notes there. There we go. Yeah, right there. Yep. All right, developer comments. In our past, to remove some redundancy in terms of ability operations, we've identified a few more changes that we're in the process of adjusting that need more time before we're happy with them. In particular, we've noted that Nightblade has several sources of major expedition, so we'll be focusing on Cripple and its morphs as well as the double take morph. These additional changes will become in the future PTS. Okay. Cool, dude. Here we go. Sorcerer. Finally made it. Crystal Shard. Reduce the cost of this ability and its morphs by approximately 15% to put it in line with our other cast time abilities. Is Crystal Shard the morph that nobody uses? Is that the... Does that thing still do AoE damage? Or is this the other one? Just for clarity's sake. I can't keep the morphs right. This is the hardcast one. So they reduce the cost of it. Oh, I'm sorry. And it's morphs. They reduce shards cost. This is overall. But does the other one still do the AoE? Like the ranged hardcast, it does AoE? Blast equal to AoE morph? Okay, yeah. Blast actually really good against groups? Okay. I haven't seen where it's performing these days. Alright, so they reduce the cost. Alright, Dark Exchange. Fix an issue where this ability in the Dark Conversion morphs would fail to return resources or heal if they were cast while silenced. What? How can you cast it if you're silenced? It doesn't work. It's not that serious. While casting it. So if you are casting it, you got negated, it will finish. You cast it, but someone drops a negate in the middle of your cast. Yeah, that's... Nothing should complete while you're channeling. Right? Like, that you should get interrupted. Today's been rough. I know, Echo. It's all the same people. I agree, it's dumb. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I think it's the resource return for the second part of the skill. Like, yeah, that's the only thing that could make sense to me. Is if you already cast a Dark Teal, and then you're hit by a negate then? And then you didn't get it anymore, maybe? I don't know. Stamorph can't be silenced? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, yeah, that might be what it is. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the one that, Wait, no. One takes magic, it gives health and stamina. The other takes stamina, right? And gives, yeah. So, okay. That makes sense. Alright, in case, reduce the duration of the immobilize from this ability to 4 from 4.5 seconds. That doesn't really matter. Instead, the damage over... Okay, and then the Shattering Prison morph. Increase the damage of the explosion by approximately 82% to put it on par with other AoE instant hit abilities such as Cleave or Impulse. Hot damn. That's actually really nice for group play. Boom. Alright, cool. Negate magic. Fix an issue where this ability would fail to continue suppressing area effect abilities inside the area. Updated the tooltip to better describe the function of this ultimate. Yeah. I think you could drop a negate and then, say, throw something else in there. The one thing I would... I don't know if... Gilliam's gone. I don't know if Rob's here or anyone else from Zoss that could maybe answer this, because synergies are kind of like those overlooked things that are so amazing in this game. I don't know if it's intended, though, and it may be, and that's fine. But, like, there's some things negate interrupts, which is annoying. Rezzing, placing siege. The latter should definitely not. You should not be able to get negated and stop you from putting up a siege. The rezzing one I have a question about, but synergies as well. You cannot use synergies anywhere near negate. And that's kind of dumb too, I feel. I get it if the negate cancels the synergy, but sometimes you have a negate and you have a synergy in the area. I don't know what the intended design effect is there, but, you know, just a thought. Something to mention. That's all. Also, on the side note of synergies, they should scale with your max stat like ultimates and penetration values, please. Thank you. God bless, that'd be great. Don't shuffle me into Magicka gameplay, please. It's play how I want, right? Hit change for guard negates, not player negates. Yeah, actually, you may be right. Is it the player negates that only do siege? I don't know. Or the guard negates that only hit you and stop siege and res? I don't know. It might be. I don't know. In that case, it's another bullet worth mentioning. All the guards need to be updated. Guards haven't been touched since like 2014 or something. Alright. Their frags are still stunning. Alright. They reflect. They can put a bubble on you to reflect a trebuchet shot at a door. And I can hit myself somehow. I mean, you know, their negate's broken. It goes through walls. But for another day. Probably not this patch, I imagine. But guards could use a stick to be beaten with repeatedly and reshaped into something that is better and more fitting. See the Spire of Notre Dame fell? I did not see it. I heard about it. And that's pretty unreal to think about. I don't even want to see it right now. That sucks. That's old. I never got to see it. Anyway. Daedric Summoning. Daedric Curse. Fix an issue where the AoE detonation of this ability and Smorphs could be blocked. Note that this refers only to the AoE portion. The original target could not block the damage. Okay. Daedric Prey Morph. Rework the ability rank up. Instead gaining 1.1% damage on the explosion per rank. This ability now becomes cheaper as it ranks up. Final cost is now 2160 at base. But will deal a little less damage. Add a pet taunt functionality to this ability that is similar to the one built in the heavy attacks. You activate your active pets will now prioritize targets with Daedric Prey on them. Oh, that's kind of cool. Reduce the damage bonus for pets from this ability to 40% from 55%. Fix an issue where the Summon Unstable Familiar's damage pulse was not being affected by this ability. Note that the morphed version volatile was already working. Probably okay. Pet nerfed. Okay. We'll keep moving. Keep moving. Thank you for the follows, guys. Welcome in. Just going through the patch notes. If you're just joining us. And there is a follower delay on. Sorry. A lot of idiots rolling through chat. That's all. Storm Calling. Bolt Escape. Fix an issue where this ability in Morphs could stun targets behind walls. Son of a bitch. This ability will now scale with your highest offensive stats and increase the stun duration to 3 seconds from 1.8. Wow. Wow. Alright, I'll take it, dude. They've been watching the stream. I put that out as a hot tip for Stam Circs. Streak the wall. Hit the players. Alright. Alright. They don't want me to have fun. That's a buff to streak. Okay, what else do we have? Lightning form, Boundless Storm. This morph now grants 4 seconds of Major Expedition immediately, rather than starting at 2.5 and ranking up. This ability's damage will now get stronger, ending in 3.3% damage increase at rank 4. Okay. Lightning Splash. Excuse me. Lightning Splash. Increase the duration of this ability. It's more to 8 from 6. Liquid Lightning now lasts 12 to retain the extra 4. Flood. Increase the damage in its morph by 5%. Okay. Mage's Wrath. Increase the damage of area effect abilities and its morph by 20% to put it on par with other executes. Fix an issue where this ability's detonation was able to be dodged, despite the initial hit also being able to be dodged. Now, if the initial hit lands on the target, they will not be able to dodge the detonation. Okay, I agree with that. This ability now returns Magicka if the target died within 5 seconds of taking damage, rather than only if this ability get the killing blow. Also increase the amount of Magicka returned by approximately 10%. Wow. Well, that's good for them. Overload. This ability and its morphs will now scale with Staff Expert in the champion point system. Also updated the tool tip. Power Overload. Increase the damage dealt of light and heavies. Override by 10% to improve the morph distinction. That's it. Like I told you. Not a lot for the Stamsork. We do not use Dark Magic Crystal Shard. We do use this, although we don't use this one. We don't use Encase. We can use Negate. We don't use Pets. We don't use Hardened Ward. We do use Streak. This is a touch on the Stamsork. We don't use Boundless. We don't use Lightning Splash. We don't use Mage's Wrath. We don't use Overload anymore. All right, there's some Stamsork notes for you guys. All right, there's your distinction, baby. No Sith Lord Lightning. Why not? Did they buff Magplar? I'm sure. I'm sure they did. They won't even admit Stamsork as a class. I know. I know. I'm trying to do it.
You son of a bitch.
They don't want you to be happy. All they were nerfed was my streak. But then they buffed it. Alright. Perhaps the audit hasn't reached Sorcerer yet. Alright. Maybe they're the last in the list. Alright. And the audit is not yet completed on Stamsork. That's all. That's what I'm going with. Even though that's probably not what happened. Will my Magnum be competitive? That's the real question. I don't know. We haven't got there yet. Let's check it out. Adric Spear. Burning Light. Fix an issue where the damage's passive could be dodged, despite the fact that the damage was tethered to an attack that already could be blocked or dodged. Good. Good change. Focus Charge. Reduce the damage dealt by this ability in toppling by approximately 8%, on par with other gap closers. Explosive Charge. Increase the damage dealt by this morph by approximately 15% to put it on par with other PB AoE, since this morph converts the attack into an AoE. Okay, toppling. Fix an issue with this ability, and the explosive morph could not be CC broken until the stagger completed if you are interrupted by the ability. This ability and its morphs will now always apply off balance to the target rather than requiring them to be interrupted, since the targets were automatically set off balance if interrupted anyway. Yeah, okay. Alright. Update and charge. Piercing. Here we go with Javelin. Increase the duration of the stun granted. And its morphs to land on a beautiful whole number. This means that the base ability will be 2 seconds rather than 1.8, while binding will last 4 rather than 3.5. Aurora. Fix an issue where you couldn't hit the damage bonus cap without utilizing range increasing passives. Now it will get 2% stronger for every 1 meter between you and the target, up to 40% at 20. Damn. Okay. It's a lot of damage. Okay. Puncturing Strikes reduced the channel time for this ability and its morphs from 2. All right, we got a typo here. Gina Bruno. It's too many prepositions. So we're going from 1 seconds, from 1.1 seconds. Praise the sun for the whole numbers. She was too excited to get to the end there. All right, and there's only one space after every period. Like, I'm already having a hard enough time here. It's unbelievable. Okay, here we go. Keep moving. Radial sweep. Increase the radius of this ability and its morphs to 8 meters from 6. Wow, that's really big on radial sweep. Empowering. Redesign this morphs to offer damage rather than survival. I can't believe it. EMAC's been in here trolling for months for damage. Here we are. Offer damage instead of survivability. The damage pulse after the initial hit now lasts 6 seconds at base, but is increased by 2 seconds for each enemy hit, up to a maximum of 6 enemies. It now also grants them power for the duration rather than major protection. Get packed up, EMAC. Let me know how the empower works out for you instead. You'll be light attacking all 6 of them down one at a time. All right. I don't really see the synergy in that. Empowering. You know, you come in and be like, 6 people, stand back, coming in with the radial sweep, light attack. Light attack. Light attack. You know, it doesn't really work that way. You know? Maybe. Thank you. Oh, man. You had another one of those?
I went to the store.
Oh, right. Thank you. So EMAC got his wish, but it may not work out that way. We'll see. Bye-bye Nightblades, Temps for the New Kings. Yeah, it'll be radial sweeping all over the place. Out of your mind. Am I reading this right? DK is lose and reflect. The wings, that is correct. Yeah, they are. They are gone. Empower instead of major protection. Great trade-off. Yeah, that's one of the worst switches. With that said, I'd like to see major protection brought into line more so. All right? I'd like more checks and bounces on buffs that are that strong. And major protection's been getting out of hand. They've just been handing it out. All right? They'll be in there. They're like, hey, we got the new expansion coming in a week. Finn, did the dungeon done? He's like, yep, everyone's going to have a bad time. All right, do we have new gear? Nope, I'll put some together. We'll put major protection on it. 5 seconds minimum. We'll stick it on there. You know, you get major protection from too many sources. Major protection is very strong. Be careful with that one. Any of those big major ones, major, not only major protection. Evasion I can understand being a little more common. That's okay. But major vulnerability is the other, only introduced now with the Necro. Wings are gone. They are.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Anyway. DKs get... Alright, they got leap. When can you play? When I'm done the patch notes, I shall play. What are you eating? Skylace just brought us some chicken. We're eating some chicken. Chicken and nuts, dude. We buffed your class in 9 ways and nerfed the one thing maybe literally unplayable. Yeah. PTS isn't up? Yeah, I don't know if it is. I think a lot of people are trying to log in, having trouble. Doesn't matter. I'm going through the patch notes, though, right now, guys. And when I'm done that, I shall hop on the PTS. Okay. Spear Shards. Increase the initial hit damage of this ability and its morphs by approximately 36%. Increase the dot of Luminous by 5. Adjusted how these abilities power up as they rank. Spear Shards, instead, increases damage dealt by entire ability as it ranks up. Okay. Luminous Shards no longer increases damage as it ranks up, but instead gains cost reduction. Ooh. And Blazing Spear increases damage dealt by entire ability as it ranks up. Fairness, none of this matters. We're all going to be Necros. Stop it! Sun Shield. Updated the tooltip for this ability and its morphs to state the actual value rather than an ambiguous value that required you to do super hard math. Excellent. Another Gilliam quote right there, I'm telling you. Okay. Increase the initial hit damage of this ability and the Radiant Ward Morph by 150% to put it on par with other PB AoEs. Blazing Shield's damage remains untouched since it's already above standard. Since it has an additional requirement in order to gain the damage, yeah. Okay. This ability no longer gains additional cost reduction as it ranks up. Instead, the bonus shield size for enemies hit goes up by 9% per rank. Per enemy hit at rank 4. Okay. They don't want you to do math. Okay. Thanks, guys. Really helps me when I'm picking my Sun Shield Morph. There you go. What drink is that? Mama Chia. Okay. Dawn's Wrath. Eclipse. God, I hate this ability. I hope everyone got banned for using this. This ability and its morphs will no longer proc off direct damage attacks such as spiked armor or through Harbinger's damage return. Updated the tooltip of this ability to properly indicate their internal cooldown, which have always been there. Reduce the damage dealt by the Thorn mechanic damage return of this ability and its morphs by 25%. Note this only pertains to the damage. The heal of Total Dark and Explosion Unstable Core remain untouched. When they say this ability and its morphs will no longer proc off direct damage. Mubs, help me out with this one. I haven't used this skill in forever. And that's only the one morph, isn't it? Get wrecked, thank you for the prime. Welcome him. Another one. Thank you, man. It's a nerf. It's not nerf. It still procs on all dots, yeah? And they say off direct damage. But spiked armor, I guess it functions as direct damage, yeah. I think it means it won't chain proc off thorn damage. Yeah, but dot damage. I just hate it. You dump dots and like it gets cast on you. It's like doof 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 doof. There should be some kind of like build up to it. That's what I don't like about Eclipse. I 100% know certain Templars when I'm fighting them are gonna cast it on me on cooldown and they hit me and it still does a lot of damage. And you have to CC it, but you end up taking damage no matter what, just for like showing up and being like, hey, I play a build that does dots. Haha, I can't control it. I place dots, and I take damage now. It's just, I hate it. I hate the design of the skill. It doesn't proc off dots, it procs off direct damage. I can guarantee you I was shredding myself to pieces, running for my life being casted constantly. Current tool to envelop an enemy with lightless sphere, causing X damage, healing you for each time they... So what else? Maybe I need to figure out what's in my build that's considered direct damage then. Because it's like full-time shred. It's a pain to break Eclipse. It's delayed. Yes. That is the upfront part is the worst part because like I know when it's coming. I want to be able to break it reasonably. To be like, here comes the Eclipse, and I'm sitting there. I'm like CC break, CC break, CC break, and it's like doosh doosh doosh. You're taking a couple thousand damage a second. Meanwhile, the guy's throwing a dark flare and queuing up a beam or something. And it's like, I know what you're doing. I can't do anything about this. You know? It's probably confused Hurricane. Anything like that's got to go. It's got to go. Eclipse destroys bleed build. It's stupid. I don't like it. I think it's terrible design. You can just go light armor, Magplar, and shred with it with ease. You have all the pen in the world. You still can make up for your armor. I think it's very poorly designed. Maybe just because of its breaking. Maybe the CC breaking. Maybe if they rework that. Maybe give it a little wind up time. Give me the ability to fight against it because it does so much damage for not having the ability. Like there's nothing I can do. All right, you want to talk about like wings and stuff or whatever. This thing, like it just doesn't matter. I don't even have to be fighting the guy. I can be fighting someone else and they cast it on me. And it's like, oh, I shouldn't be playing this character, I guess, you know? Proc once every second after the initial hit. My current question is, what will it proc off now? It used to be only projectiles, right? What it will proc off of? I don't know. Maybe allow it to proc off all those things, dude, but maybe rework the upfront portion of it. Maybe make it a little lighter on the first tick to give me an opportunity to break it. Because people manage their stam to break it and know they're going to have to break it, and that does not matter. They get punished badly for it. Just tune in. What are you talking about? Just talking about Eclipse a little. I'm okay with that as long as it keeps the heal. It can be nerfed into the ground. I know the heal benefits, and that's what I mean. When you think about it, when you think about how strong that is on a light armor Magplar, I can just stick that on you, and you are now like killing yourself while the Templar's healing. Someone that can already heal pretty effectively, burst wise. It's pretty absurd. It's pretty absurd. I feel. I think. Beyond being annoying, maybe for me especially personally, and DKs and probably some other people, you know, if you've ever been abused with it a lot, you'll know. But aside from my like personal gripe, it is functionally unique in how it works, which is okay. Those kind of things are good to have in the game, but understand it doesn't feel good, as they like to say, or have a good feeling for certain builds. It just ruins. Like the flow of combat. I don't know. Anyway, I won't get stuck on it. I would consider another pass at Eclipse for those reasons stated. And there's a lot of people, you know, in chat that seem to echo that sentiment because it's pretty brutal.
Hello, cutie pie.
Nicholas. Gifting in Trollton, welcome in. Another one. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Nick. I'd rather have it stun. Well, they already have stun too, and I get what you mean because it functions as a crowd control thing. This is where it's unique, and I don't mind it being unique in what it does. Yeah, maybe it's stun after you do a certain amount of damage to yourself or something. I don't know, but you know where the problem lies is in its application and the amount of damage you're going to take. You're gonna take that damage. My main purpose of it allows my Templars to go offensive. It's one of the hots that can be applied that allow you to go offensive. Yeah, and I don't disagree with you. I don't want to take that away from them either. That's not what I'm advocating for. Because I see your point of view and it makes total sense. I think the application is really brutal. It functions in the CC category. It's also providing the utility of a heal to you, which allows you to go offensive, which is okay and good. But it's absolutely like a target with that's doing any kind of dot damage for starters is going to absolutely kill themselves while you're also healing yourself, and you still have to CC break the thing. Like. It's unique in its design, but it needs another pass. I'm going to move on. Here we go. Let's keep moving for now. Power of the Light. Adjust this ability to rank up this morph. No longer gains damage on the initial hit, but instead increases the duration of minor fracture and breach applied. Since that is the focus of the morph, this will result in approximately a 3% damage loss in the initial hit. But the duration of fracture and breach will last 9 seconds, up from 6. Wow, that's really good. I'd say. Maybe, yeah, that's all there is to it. I would totally take that. Even though you kind of keep it up, like if you're in a small scale fight and you're focusing a target, you're gonna keep reapplying this skill. But
hello, cutie pie.
Is it only the initial hit too? The upfront part of it's not that hard anyway. It doesn't matter. Meganova's gifting in Odysseus. Welcome in, brother. Meganova, thank you, dude. Odysseus, champion Magplar on the battlefield. Joining the ranks. Another one. Thank you, man. Dot damage to direct damage, so shouldn't proc it now. Yeah, we'll see, I guess, right?
You son of a
We'll see.
bitch.
We'll see. We'll test it out. We'll check it out.
You son of a bitch.
Solar Flare. Reduce the cast time from this ability in the Dark Flare morph to 1 second from 1.1. Big buff. I have an idea. I'd like to propose one. Let's take Dark Deal back to 1 second. All right. Just throw in one little Stamp Circ buff. Just one little Stamp Circ buff. All right. And you can get rid of that. What is it? 1.6 right now. I don't like 1.6. All right. Let's make just a solid 1 second on Dark Deal. All right. JJ, welcome in. Put in a stand base curse. No kidding. Something like that. I still think we should have the Crystal Frag stam morph called Crystal Punch. All right. And I can go up and Crystal Punch people in the face for some upfront damage, baby. All right. I want to get involved. I want to get in their face. Or Overload. I don't know. Okay. Here we go. We'll keep moving. Increase the travel speed to match other projectiles, so it should be faster. Reduce the damage by approximately 37% to make up for the fact that it can be cast more frequently. Reduce the base cost to from $29.70 to $29.70 from $32.40. So it's a little cheaper. Solar Flare. It's going to do significantly less damage. It's going to fire quicker, and the projectile will go quicker too. By how much, we'll see, but to match others, I'm thinking when they say match others like Destro Reach or something, that's pretty fast. Which would be a big change for Solar Flare. Remove the delay of this ability, which will result in gaining 1 extra tick of damage. Also fix an issue where this ability would be considered a direct damage attack instead of a damage over time. Okay. You know what I don't like about Solar Flare? I don't know if it still does this. If you dodge it, it should be dodgeable, and it is dodgeable. It still could apply the debuffs to you, though. Why? You know.
You son of
That's
a
a thing.
bitch.
So. Thank you, guys. Oh, my. Here we go. Keep it rolling. Just like Incat? Yeah. If you dodge a dodgeable, you shouldn't get hit with the effects of that skill. Yeah. Just a side note for the skill audit. My opinion, at least. Debuff is AoE. Yeah, and you're not wrong. And that's a case there where that one may hold true because of that. I don't like it, though. I don't like it with Flare. I wouldn't mind like an AoE thing that could be dodgeable, and I don't like it because it's at range. I don't like that. But anyway, we'll keep going.
You son of a bitch.
Sunfire, Justice ability is more to follow our standard dots.
You son of a
Duration increased to 8 from 6.25. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 31% to make up for the loss of tick. This will result in roughly the same overall DPS, but with less burst.
You son of a bitch.
Vampire's Bane now lasts 12 instead of 10.25. Reflective Light, the spread of how far this ability will attempt to find targets near you is 5 meters instead of 4.5. Okay. Seems good. No change to passives for the old classes. While the Necro has a huge variety of useful passives, yeah, I don't expect that in the first one here either, though. But not huge changes, no. We're not done them all yet, though. We still got Warden here. Restoring Light, Breath of Light, fix an issue where the secondary heal granted for this ability was able to ignore the caster's line of sight and target players behind them. Son of a bitch. Cleansing Ritual. This ability and S'mores now grant healing and or damage based on the user's highest offensive stats rather than just max magic and spell damage. Okay. Fix Ritual from not being able to crit. Practice Incantation. Fix an issue where this ability is increasing the heal by 1 per rank rather than 1.1%. Wow, that's rough. Alright, Warden. Here we go. Falcon Swiftness. Reduce the cost of this ability and S'mores to 2,700 from 3,511. This ability will no longer grant Major Endurance. Major Expedition now lasts 6 seconds, up from 4. Note this ability is now considered a rule breaker, since it breaks the paradigm of Major Expedition lasting 4 seconds. Okay, now I want to see Rob's paradigm. This is on a whiteboard somewhere. I want to see it. Where's the Major Expedition paradigm? Where is it in there? I'm ready now. So, this is very, very strong for a Stam Warden. Stam Wardens couldn't really afford to put this skill up, nor keep it up, nor was it worth it. If you don't know, you get you get the Berserk passively from the skill, so you didn't need to cast the skill. This is cheap enough that you can cast it. Its cost is significantly lower with a higher uptime. The trade-off is you don't get Major Endurance, but pretty much every Stam Warden probably has some use of a speed pot. Unless you're using like a healing vitality pot. Like double healing vitality. Which they, but then you would have had to keep this up, which you probably didn't. Regardless, that's a buff. It's nice. So, wow. Okay. So Wardens keep 8% buff? Oh yeah. Yeah. Buff Warden, neuter Nightblade, yeah. Major Endurance from pots anyway, yeah. Wanting to buy Stamsork Rule Breaker ability. Count me in on that, dude. We'll start a petition after this. Next patch notes, guys. Rule Breaker. Stamsork received a skill this year. Breaks the paradigm where Stamsork is never touched and only inadvertently nerfed indirectly from changes made to Magicasork. Alright. Who's ready for it? Alright, Kelly, there's no need for name calling. Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy on that. Come on. No, you have to buy the Warden now. You can't sub to get it. It's separate. Separate from subscription. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Let's keep moving. Alright. Scorch. This ability in S'mores can now be blocked. Poggers. This is kind of the bread and butter of Wardens. In PvP, in group play. Okay, Scorch is your delayed AoE burst. Making it blockable, isn't that a paradigm breaker? What other AoEs do we have like that? Can they? No, it's not a rule breaker, is it? Good change. Good change overall. This shit's OP right now. Alright, everyone's running around with Stam Warden groups. Alright. Or Magical Wardens, just no real good way to deal with it. Burst AoEs can be blocked, yeah. Oh yeah, allows for counterplay with the big burst, yeah. Allows you to be able to... Allows you to live if you so choose that you came to the fight with a proper build and you made the right choice. Feels alive, man. Okay? I don't think there's a pep. Is there a Peppo feels alive, man? Probably not. All right, green bounce. Corrupting Pollen. This ability no longer applies major defile to enemies for 4 seconds inside, which allowed it to bypass 6-player target cap instead of up to 6 enemies inside, which properly afflicted with major defile, which will cease once the ability ends or they leave the radius.
You son of a bitch.
Lovely Squirrel coming in for 2 months with a T2. That's 2 subs worth. Thank you. After 4 years back to ESO, back to Fangers, I'm hyped to be back. Welcome back. Let's say back a couple more times. Nacho, you welcome back too. Get back in here. 8 months. Another one. Thank you, dude. They're back. That's right. Thank you guys for the resubs. Another one. Nacho, okay. Now he's trolling. Double subbing. Piece of shit. Well, welcome back. Thank you. So what's happening here? Instead of... I get what they're saying. You could affect whatever was in the AoE. Instead of 6 enemies inside, we'll apply with major defile. I see. You can only hit up to 6 people inside it. So they're capping it. And it also doesn't last outside of it. Does that sound right? I think that's what's happening. Well, rip PTS, what happened? I think it's overcomplicated. I think they're just saying if you aren't affected with the file, if you walk out. Pretty much. And I think that if you're inside it, it's capped at 6. But so is other shit. You know what should be rule breakers? Alright, new rule breaker. Ults need different rules because they're ults. Alright? Make standard great again. It should hit everybody. I don't know if it does. If it does, God bless. Let's make it even stronger. But can't log into PS. No one can. Okay. I'm not trying right now. All right. I told Gina I needed a couple hours. She said they'll bring the PTS up when I'm done this. All right. So just hang in there. Be patient. The sooner we get to this, the sooner we can bring the server back up. Okay? It's up. All right, it's down. I'll take it down again then. All right. Harvest. Fix an issue where the synergy would not actively update 2 targets in the area. It will now operate like other synergies, prioritizing the closest players to the center of the area of effect placed. Also, increase the radius of the synergy prompt to 5 meters from 3 meters to allow for more accessibility. Okay, cool. Lotus Flower, increase the radius of the heal from this ability and its morphs to 28 from 12 meters to aid in better distributing the healing potential to group members. That's good. That's pretty cool. Nature's Grasp. This ability and morphs now scale with your highest offensive stats rather than just your max magic or spell damage. Oh, baby! Another one for Stamwarden. Stamwarden is making a comeback. They're going from the best class this patch to the best class next patch. Yeah, buddy. Who'd they give it to? Any idea what's that? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Diversity. That's what I want to see. Winner's Embrace. Arctic Wind. Increase the heal over... This skill sucked for so long. Increase the heal over time from this ability and smorts to 3% of your max health, up from 2%. These abilities now properly rank up in healing with each rank, the tooltip's state. Alright, increase the travel speed of the projectile so it's similar to destructive touch speed. Also update the tooltip to state it requires an enemy to cast. Then the other one, increase the radius to 12 meters from 8 meters for the allied heal. Alright. Cool, dude. Alright. I don't know if that's still gonna... Yeah. Someone says, MASH, this is still trash. Okay. Crystallized Shield. Remove the cost reduction rank up from this ability in S'mores. They will now cost 3780 across the board. The size of the shield from this ability will increase as the ability ranks up. And then adjusted the magic of return to be 22% of the ability's cost instead of the previous base value. Okay. Then we have Crystallized Slab. Increase the damage return of this morph by approximately 55% to put it on par with abilities such as Dragon, Fire, Scale, or Inferno. Okay. I don't know if anyone's ever used this or would ever want to forfeit major heroism. But, yeah. Okay. I wouldn't. Frozen Gate. This ability no longer becomes cheaper as it ranks up. Base remains same. Duration has been streamlined to 30 seconds on all morphs. Ability now ranks up in damage, but has had its base damage reduced to our PBAUE standard attack. Its ability to damage? Wow. Okay. Ginger Kid, excellent choice of words. Please listen to Ginger Kid for great success in all your endeavors in this channel. Okay. Impaling Shards. Fix an issue where this ability and its morphs were being removed before dealing their last tick of damage. Okay. Fix an issue where these abilities are being calculated as direct damage rather than dot. Updated the tooltips of these to mention their increased chance to apply the chilled status. Winter's Revenge. Fixed an issue where this could snare enemies through walls. Impaling Shards. Increase the damage dealt by it. 30%. Put it up. Okay. Sleet Storm. Reduce the potency of the snare from this morphs to 40% from 70. It's a good start. %40 snare is still a lot for what the skill does. I don't think that's... Here's the thing. If you get caught in a clash and all else is even and your team has this and they don't, man. How do you compete, you know? Pegius, come on, dude. You've been here for years, man.
Barbecue, huh?
You guys are losing your mind here.
How do you like your ribs?
Ginger Kid's a god. Ginger Kid is a god. RPA, thank you for 500 bits, brother. Now he gets a day off. No kidding, like...
You son of a bitch.
Take it easy in chat.
Bitch.
The PTS and the PCU experience, apparently.
Son of a
Pixels, man. It's unbelievable. It's like... Incap gets nerfed. People, they go to Twitch, I guess. I don't know. They're trying to incap people in Twitch chat. I don't know what's happening. Nightblade mains are coming out of the closet. I don't know.
Son of a bitch.
It's gonna be okay, guys. Alright? Remember Magicosaurus were dead? Alright? Stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. Alright? Maybe they will be the weakest. You know? Take on a challenge for a patch. You know? Nobody wants to challenge themselves in life anymore. Alright? Why do you think I went Stamsort? Said it can't be done? Boom. Step up to the plate. Make it happen. Get it done. What's up, Mr. T? How you doing, dude? We need another werewolf buff. How? I like it. He skipped over it. What did I skip over? I was going to that right away. What's that? Okay. I'm not going to read it yet. We're on weapon lines now. Two-handed. How much more do we... I got to take a piss. I can't. We're gonna finish it off. We're gonna... Weapon, two-handed. Cleave. Rework this ability in Morphs so the damage is increased by 50%. But remove the bleed from this ability completely. Carve. This morph will retain the bleed and increase the bleed damage by 25%. So wait, it's not only going to keep the bleed, but make it a stronger one. However, it no longer grants minor heroism. Okay. And then Brawler, remove the bleed from this ability, increase the shield granted from this morph by 100% at base, but reduce the bonus scaling from target hit from 100 to 50. This means at base, the ability is 100% stronger than before, approximately 14% stronger previously if you get the max bonus. Let's make it a rule breaker. Just do it, Gilliam. You know? Like one of the... Do it on Toxic Tuesday. Just revisit it. You know? Pop open a Coke instead of a Diet Coke. Start living a little wildly. Just make it a rule breaker, dude. Let us hit as many as we want. Just try it. Just try it. Alright? Let us brawl out of our minds. Because when it comes down to it, dude, how many opportunities do we have to brawl in our life? Alright? Once you get the two-hander and you're like, wow, I can hit more than 6 targets with a two-handed, you know what that means? The math means there's fucking 60 people coming at you, dude. You maybe get 2 swings off in the lag before it's all over. Alright, let me feel alive for a minute. If I accidentally get 20 people in front of me, I want to knock them all down, dude. I want to break them in half. He's back. You're out of your meeting? If everything's a rule breaker, how can there be rule breakers? This is the one to do it with, of all the weapons. This is the rule breaker, dude. Gilliam, did you ever see the... Does anyone have the clip? Remember we wiped out TM with one cleave. One cleave to rule them all, alright? Oh, there's nothing better, dude. Everybody's sitting there doing spin to win. Alright, Gilliam, I always tell people I could sit here, I could hook up the X-Bone steering wheel and run spin to win in group play. Alright, all I need is a gas pedal and a left-right turn. And then I hit gas pedal to spin to win. I hit the brake pad to move forward. That's it. That's it, baby. But when it comes to brawling, it's a whole nother level. All right? I got to get the... You got to get the position. You got to be in the right place. You got to slow the enemies down. You got to be there at the right moment. Then you have to hit them, and then you lag out and die. Unless it's a rule breaker. All right? If it's a rule breaker, oh, baby, we're going to be cleaving them all the way across. Is this it, Mubs? Let's check it out. Here it is. Hang on. Let's... Give me sound in here.
Son of a bitch.
Alright? In the dream world, Gilliam, this is the rule-breaking experience of a lifetime. I'm gonna with another push here. Alright? Look at this. Ooh! I just fucked him so bad. Whoa, language. Look at this. Boom! Alright? That's a corrosive cleave. Alright? Full pen, baby. Let's rule break. Let's get out there and rule break, baby. But okay, we'll move on. I love Brawl. It's so underutilized, and it's unfortunate. It's very tough. If they extend the range on the ability, it would quickly become the thing then. So there's that very fine balance of making this functional. This is a great step for it. I will say that. The problem with it is it's very hard to find a place to use it, to warrant its use. With the slow meta, you could think there are opportunities to use it more so, and there are. But, like, here's the thing. If move speed's in a comfortable, good place, and it's healthy, and what I mean by healthy is the snares are not so extreme that people can reasonably move, they can reasonably get around and do stuff so they don't forcibly pile up by slows, then cleave's kind of worthless. If roots and slows are overly, if they're overperforming, then cleave's going to be better. However, Tornado's so easy to use that it's always used because Brawler does not fit every situation. It does not work in open field. And in fact, because it's so limited, it should be more potent, which you can say it is. The numbers are there. I hear you. But it's so hard to use in PvP because of its range. The actual targeting of cleave is very difficult. you can hit targets that are behind you because of the you know, the hit detection there. I'll digress on it. I'd like to see it more in play, is all I'm saying. This is a good step, I guess. This is, you know, this is adding something to it. I find the bleed to be very interesting, number one. It's very interesting. I feel the skill is almost worthless unless you have a master two-hander. That's another thing. It's a very interesting skill. It's very interesting. I'd like to see it more. Lee Templar, thank you. Welcome back. 3 months. Bring in the biceps. I won't harp on the skill. I don't want to harp on anything. Rip minor heroism? Yeah. Yeah, you can still get that from Sword and Board, though. So, you know, heroic slash. Heroic's great. Hit him with the maim, get a little heroic going. All right? But Sword and Board's already good. It's looking even better again. All right. So we got past this. Uppercut. Reduce the damage dealt from this ability in S'mores by 14% to make up for the removal of the post-global noted above. Note, this will result in a 6% overall DPS when used in quick succession. So we can fire them quicker due to the global cooldown changes, is one. But the actual burst hits will be reduced. Is this good for the team? As they say. I don't know. Do people do successive uppercuts? I mean, I guess we do sometimes when we're just unloading and machine gunning on people, but... Alright, whatever. Because it's not speeding it up. It's speeding up the time in between doing another. Hey, thank you, Joe. Much nodding, yes. Thing is, they can never hit them, so they nerfed it. Yeah, I hear you. Here's the thing. If move speed... and so certain snares were already reduced. And one of the biggest quality of life improvements, I think, will be getting move speed in a comfortable place where you feel that snares and roots are impactful, but they do not cripple your gameplay. They've already made a step to adding cooldowns there. I still think reducing snares needs to be looked at very, very carefully. I think there is a happy medium there for snares. I think there should be some snares in the game that do really snare you pretty harsh, but can't just be spammed or something, right? Like, let's take Caltrops, for example. Let's take Warden's Ult, for example, or Wall of Elements. All right, the easier it is to apply an area snare, the less intense the snare should be. I think it is pretty obvious and self-explanatory, right? But the only conditions I see there that should change is when you're trying to lock down people that are doing ball groups. And I think ball group counters are still always needed. Maybe they'll come more so in some of these patch notes. But I think that's the only exception, where I would maybe have some skills in the game scale their effectiveness on numbers. Kind of like Proxy Det works. Maybe scale the effectiveness of snares on something like Caltrop if you're tagging 20 targets. I don't know. It's just an example. But, you know, there needs to be more like that. But outside of that, outside of basically the only reason I bring that up is to have counters, checks and bounces in for ball groups that don't exist today. There are some things, right? Proxy Det or Vicious Death or whatever. There's some tools out there. In CP campaign, it's a whole other story. Siege is another. But I don't think there's enough tools, especially for stamina. You know, this patch we see multiple Magicka sets added that stamina has, the equivalent. Where's the stamina Vicious Death, dude? All right? A couple years ago, someone said on ESO Live that, don't worry, Reverse Slice is going to be like Vicious Death. All right? Then we got Reverse Slice, and it was not Vicious Death. All right? It didn't work that way. And we never got that. Cleave is literally the closest thing that's, like, on paper, the most OP AoE thing, but it just doesn't work in lag as effectively as you'd want. So, anyway, keep moving. Ball groups are and will remain cancer. Well, not unless there's tools out there to deal with them. Okay? You did a VD Stam DK when you had Emp. I do. I do a Stam DK Emperor that wears a Magicka set. That is correct. Because it's the only tool to use when you're getting charged with so many people. What do I do? They didn't add the equivalent in. Is sheer venom set splash with a verse? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, dude. Yeah, I don't think so. One-handed and shield. Fix an issue where one-handed and shield hint was appearing in your death recap when you aren't attempting to use one-handed shield weapons. Okay. Dual wield blade cloak. Fix an issue with this ability. It's more where you could fail to get the damage or any other bonus provided. You will now always get the pulsing damage on and any other bonuses, even if the major evasion fails to apply due to having a longer duration bonus existing. Oh, I see. If you had another... Okay, that makes sense. There's a slowing effect that affects you when casting certain abilities at cleave. I don't know what you mean. There's a lag effect where the skill doesn't go off in mass siege battles. They're the ones... That's the only time I'd use cleave, really. I've thought about it in Battlegrounds a couple times in this meta. It's so slow. But it's all good. And guys, sorry, the Vanisher and stuff, try to spare Gilliam or any of the Zoss guys. I think they come in to chat a little and kind of hear things out, but don't expect them to answer all your questions or something. Not because they're mean or don't want to, but it just opens up a can of 50 people asking them questions, and then they're going to be like, fuck it, I don't want to talk. So please just try to spare them that for the most part. You know? That's all. Mostly here to listen, read. So yeah, I mean, and I would be the same way. Like, if you guys can imagine yourself in those shoes, you're not going to be like, boy, I can't wait to hop in this chat and answer every... All right, no. It's not happening. Unfortunately, that's my job. All right, Flurry. Increase the damage dealt from this ability and its morphs by approximately 21%. So increase the damage dealt from 21%. To ensure it's in line with other single target spammables. Okay. So I guess the drain too, right? I missed this too. Deadly Cloak. Increase the damage of this morph by approximately 4% so that it properly gains 50% damage compared to the other morph. Okay. And then fix an issue where the abilities were being treated as both dot and direct damage. They will now properly be treated both as damage over time and scale with Thom rather than Master of Arms. That means it'll no longer proc things like that state when dealing melee damage. Ooh, okay. That is relevant. People did use it for that. Interesting. Okay. It's treated as a dot now. Joe, you piece of shit. Alright. Son of a bitch. Okay, Hidden Blade. Remove the snare from this ability and its morphs. Wow! It's just straight up remove the snare? That's awesome. I like that. I like just seeing remove the snare from an ability. It feels like a weight's lifted. It's like one less thing that could potentially just destroy you. Chew gum, make money. All right, guys, I'm trying. I'm all out of gum, and I don't want any. Maybe a little chicken. Flying Blade morph. Increase the damage dealt by 10%. Okay, Flying Blade's the 28 meter range one that you can fling out at everybody. The one that does the bouncy, that's the other morph. Untouched. Neither snare. They both did snare. Okay. You guys are gonna make... Okay. Too many questions. Okay, Twin Slashes. Adjusted this ability and its morphs to follow our standardized damage over time rule set. Increase the duration to 10 from 9. Increase the delay to 2 from 1. Oh, I see. Okay, and then increase the damage per tick by approximately 15% to make up for the loss of the first tick. This will result in roughly the same DPS. This guy's just kids out back. Take him out. Take him out.
You son of a bitch.
Alright. Blood Craze morph. Increase the heal per tick by approximately 27% and fix an issue where this ability was being calculated with bonuses and offensive attack rather than a heal. They gave you more heal. Fix an issue where this ability was being calculated with bonuses as an offensive attack rather than a heal. Oh, I see. Okay. Huh. Okay. So some changes to that. I'm surprised. And no changes to the slow on it. Makes it such a... Dual wield such a bread and butter. It's so good. You know, it's tough to choose between it and sword and board sometimes, though. The dual wield's just great straight damage, but and boy, I'd put them both together. I just do dual wield sword and board a lot too, but it's a hard life out there without forward momentum sometimes. We need a rule breaker. Throw in a rule breaker on dual wield. Now gives snare immunity. Boom, rule break. Another one. Okay. So that's still a good skill, the bleed there.
Son of a bitch.
Dude, what is wrong with these? Jesus Christ. No, ban him. That's a faker. Catch a faker. I got him. He's done. Alright. Whirlwind. Increase the base damage ability. Here's the big one. Increase the base damage of this ability and its morphs by 50%, but remove the execute bonus. It reduced the base cost to 3510 from 3780. Increase the radius of this ability and whirling death morph to 6 from 5. Steel Tornado. Remove the execute bonus, but reduce the base cost. And then for whirling, remove the reduced cost and major endurance on hit, and reintroduce the execute bonus to this morph. Oh. Previous disability, its morph were overloaded with the execute multiplier, which stacked on top of the passive execute multiplier of the skill line. We've now brought the baseline performance of this ability into the same realm as the other direct damage AoE abilities in damage, cost, and area coverage. The morphs now allow for increased area coverage and reduced drain, or increased overall damage to targets. Boy, I thought Tornado would get hit harder than this. Now this is a big deal. Like, the only thing is, it's not a big deal when there's like 6-7 people doing it. So, yeah. Fairness, it's a lot stronger if you can hit 50% extra damage for the execute buff up from 100% extra damage to the execute buff. Yeah. I still think this needs to be adjusted. Probably. It's hard to say. Like, I want there to be other stam options for AoE. That's why I talk up Brawler and I get really excited about it. Bombard's not a bad one from Bow. I don't expect Sword and Board to have an AoE. It's got Heroic, but that doesn't really count.
You son of a bitch.
I think Cleave should be better overall. And I know they buffed its damage, so don't get me wrong. They did buff its damage, but we'll see. It's its targeting that's so bad. Like Steel Tornado, you can be on top of the target and fire, and it's just gonna hit everywhere around you. It's all about how these group fights play out. It's important to understand, like, what I don't know what the vision is. I've talked about this before. What is the vision? And I understand there's different markets. There's different crowds of people to make happy. You need to make your bold majority happy for the most part, but also make it interesting too. And the thing is, like, if Steel Tornado was worthless, Stam would have a tough time having something that they can hit that people can't dodge a lot. Yeah. Should be dodgeable. Sword and Board needs an ult like Pantheon off of LOL. What? %, never taking time off. Try things on PTS, always late. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking time off for it. Why would you say no more snipe and snipe spammers? The noobs that use snipe don't read patch notes. They will continue to use it. I didn't say that. I think they'll be sniping. To bypass the targeting issues of Cleave, make it radius like Tornado rather than a conal. that's part of the issue, because it doesn't actually, like, its depth, the depth of cleave is actually pretty good. I've done some heavy testing on cleave before. And I've watched my big siege fights while I was cleaving, and I went through and I watched a lot, and I learned what it would hit and like what it didn't hit. Like if people are running straight at me and I'm coming in and I run right at them, and right when they're like right here, I cleave on the front guy to hit him and everyone behind him, doesn't hit. Maybe hits the front guy, maybe. If he's running past me and he's about 3 meters behind me and I cleave, it's going to hit him. But you have to understand the movement, and that's just something that, you know, the hit detection that comes with it. With Tornado, you don't have to. You don't have to worry about this shit. All right? Because a radius, all right, and an AoE, all right, that's the actual, you know, its diameter is huge. All right? Compared to cleave is just a cone. So, yes, there is something to think about there. There's something worth discussing, and it's a reality of the game that if targets are not parked or extremely slowed, you're going to have issues catching them with cone skills. All right? We've seen this issues with the DK breath cones. All right? The Warden's so easy to hit because the thing's a goddamn truck. It's huge. It's like a wall of elements. All right? Those things are easy to maneuver because they're huge. The cones are a little different. So, I don't know, maybe restructuring the cone. I'm just pitching ideas. Ultimately, I would like to see that every stam is not forced into Tornado. To be like, hey, they got 8 people coming in and 5 are stam. Okay, 5 people are coming through the door, steel tornadoing. Like, that's what you can expect. That with Dawnbreakers. And sure, you know, people do want to see some more change up and diversity there. And I think you could see the option to do some other things there if they were, like, reasonable to use. All right, if I get caught somewhere using cleave, like, there's a good chance I'll be like, sorry, dudes, I had cleave on bar. We got wiped. We died. Because I didn't have a reasonable skill to kill people with, you know? It's, you know. Anyway, I'm just kind of touching on it because I have used it a lot. It's one of those skills that's going to be rarely used by a lot of people. They're not going to have good feedback on it, I don't think. But anyway, that's kind of my feedback on it. Because I'd like to see other options. I'd like to see Tornado in a nice place. I still think this is a little fierce, and that comes from somebody that's gonna, you know, mainly play Stam. Gray, Artorias, thank you for 6 months. Welcome back. Because if Steel Tornado gets too nerfed, every group's gonna have to, you'll have to be Magicka, unless you're just gonna run around and bombard spam, because you cannot rely on cleave. You cannot rely on it. And bombard spamming could technically work to a degree. It's not nearly as effective as what Tornado is and what it can do. But I mean, it'd be better than trying to be like, line up the cleaves, boys, you know, so. How bad is Whirling Blades? It's really just the range. It's the range. It's the same issue with cleave. It's a range thing. So if Tornado becomes too condensed and it's the same thing as Impulse and it has no advantage on Impulse, then there's not going to be as much reason to be Stam at that point in the large group scale play, which you don't want. They fuck up Templar? They did not. No, they're still looking good. Let's move on. Bow, Arrow Spray. Remove the snare from this ability in S'mores, but increase their damage by approximately 27% and reduce the cost by 13. Wow. And then on Acid Spray, they increase the dot by 40 on top of this? This is increased by 27 with a reduction and then an increase of 40 here? Is this real? That's like all together? Silence 8. Thank you for 5 months. Welcome back. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I mean. I know full well that Silent Bow is. It already hits reasonably well, but that's going to be a big one. Add a 1 second delay between the initial hit and the first tick. The ability now lasts 4 seconds in total. 4 seconds. Okay. Bombard now. If it's got no snare and root, then this morph retains the snare and immobilize. Oh, okay. But ensures that both apply to the enemy rather than only snaring enemies who are initially affected by the immobilize. Duration of the immobilize now lasts up to 4 seconds, up from 2. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I was just talking about it, like, so that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Thing is, a lot of groups don't understand to play like that. I believe Siege is getting buffed, and it's already strong on non-CP. That's a frightening thing. You have to understand in CP environments. Okay. Or I'm sorry, non-CP environments already. Being able to bombard choke points that already have stacking siege, which is another issue altogether. All right. I don't want to get hit with 8 meat bag ticks that are sitting on the ground because 8 people are shooting the same spot with meat bags. You have that with stuff like this flying in on the breach. Good luck, dude. Good luck, dude. Anyway. Corrosive Bombard spam. Get ready for it, Vimby. Okay, keep moving. That's a big buff to bow, guys. That's a rate specifically to this skill. Because I say it's a big buff to bow, but a lot of people may use bow and not use that. It's okay. Anyhow. Snipe. Reduce the cast time and its morphs to 1 second from 1.1. Reduce the damage dealt by 25 to make up for the removal of the post-global noted earlier. Increase the travel speed of the arrow to put it in line with other projectiles. So it's going to travel faster. Damage is going to be reduced. It's going to be kind of like the change with Dark Flare, whatever, right? The Templar Bomb. Same thing. Lethal now applies minor instead of major to file. This was done since the morph already has another bonus, the guaranteed chance to apply the poison status effect. This morph no longer increases the range at which your allies can hit the target. Instead, it reduces the cost by 5% and increases the range by 5 meters. Note that minor fracture remains. Okay. Alright. Whatever. Just listen for the snipes on the battlefield, dudes. That's all you gotta do. Okay. Destruction Staff. All elements. Reduce the snare potency to 40 from 60. Alright. Step in the right direction. It seems this paradigm has very specific numbers for snares. Again, I just want to reiterate my opinion. Maybe making a pass and being like, we have X amount of skills in the game that can snare. Here's our vision. I don't know what the vision is. If we're up to me, the easier it is to apply that snare, the less impactful it should be, outside of potential rule breaker special condition ones, which honestly I would reserve for something like maybe Alliance War skills that are meant to target large groups in PvP specifically and only. That might scale there. I don't know. All in all, yeah, you got to find a comfortable spot for move speed. This is a move in the right direction, though. Obviously, it's being reduced, and that's all we can. That's all we can do and look for with the PTS. So we'll have to check it out. But okay. Dicka, welcome in. How you doing? Any fix to undo? I don't know. I didn't see that yet. Restoration Staff. Here's the rest of it. Holy shit. They finally changed this? This ability no longer grants major protection. In adjustment to this morph, the duration of the major force granted will now increase by 1 second for each rank of the morph, going from a duration of 5 seconds to 8 seconds. Previously, the ultimate felt like it did the job of both morphs on the base ability. Now Life Giver will continue to cover the raw defensive power with more healing potential. Light's Champion focuses more on offensive. Oh, how about... I'll be damned. I'll be damned. They finally, after all this time, realized that the Restoval is a little OP. Gilliam, wasn't it you back in the day I was like getting in a fight with in game? I was like, it's fucking OP. It's very strong. And I was in some PvE raid guild. I don't know if it was Fear Turbos or what. And they were in there trying to make fun of me. I was like, you guys are fucking idiots. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. This thing's strong. I forget who it was, man. It was back when it came out. It's interesting. Everybody was sleeping on Resto when it came out the first couple months. Nobody valued it at all, and it became bread and butter for so many builds, including Magicasork. That will dramatically impact Magicasork's gameplay. Oh yeah. You and Nifty were in a heated debate. It's fucking Nifty 2G. So it was, yeah. I was so mad. Because I was like, how dare you? How dare you? I remember testing it. The first thing I tested it on was a Shield Plar who had no stats in Magicka. Just none. And it healed for so much. The rest of the ults, its base healing is so high. That's the thing about it. You don't have to invest in it, and it heals for a hell of a lot. And then it had protection on top of it. So it was like, all right, I don't have to invest in ult, and it heals, and it gives me protection. But okay. Unarmed, heavy attack. Fix an issue where the heavy attacks while unarmed would cause your pet to change targets. Oh boy. Good. That's a good one. Ooh, werewolf. All right, let's get to it in a sec. Soul magic, shatter soul, fix an issue where the visual effects, blah, 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 explosion, multiplying, who cares? Werewolf, devour. Corpses in the area with this ability active will now detonate a red glow similar to other corpse-consuming telegraphs. Ooh. You can now devour your friends to extend your werewolf transformation timer since you're a selfish doggo. Yeah. Yin-yang's around in my group. We'll be werewolf forever, baby. Don't call me selfish. Alright. You can now... Alright, just read that. Fix an issue where Devour was not showing the interruptible telegraph to enemy players. One other thing, just a quality of life thing, doesn't need to be done now. Just an FYI, a lot of complaints I've heard, not just from me, but other people with Werewolf. They get tilted at the Devour pop-up from bodies. I don't know how to resolve it either. Because it's treated and it's thrown in the same category as a synergy or something. I'm sure it's on the plate and it's been mentioned, but, you know. That could be separated from synergies. Not only does the consume block your ability to use synergy, but this also ties into the idea that's been, you know, I've said it a few times, I don't know, but there's the idea of potentially making synergies prioritized, an option. Again, I don't know if that's the best way to deal with it, if there's a way to rewrite it, but whatever. Just an FYI. Little things. Infectious Claws increase the damage of the initial hit of this ability, and it's morphs by approximately 36% to put it in line with other PvAUE. Nice. That's actually nice. This skill's not bad, like, as something in PvE. Seen it scoffed at, but it's not bad at all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, please don't ask. Gilliam's not here to answer questions, guys, for the general chat. It just opens up a can of worms. Please don't. And please don't feel offended. Like, it's insane. If they answer 1, they answer 50. That's how it would go. That's all. Wait a second. Wait. What's that comment to? I missed it. All right. Men wounds and resto heavy. Wait, what? What, Nick? Nothing was changed. What? They didn't fix rewind though. Yeah, the Sigil Gold's broken. It doesn't go off much. It's you know. What are you gonna do? Honestly, dudes, like I'm gonna be honest, like. The amount of changes going on in this patch is pretty insane. Alright, if half this shit works that I'm reading, like I said, that'll be a blessing. Okay? We'll see. Like, it's a lot to throw in one bucket. I would patch slower. I would take it in smaller steps. But, you know, the reality is, whether this was done in one fell swoop or done across 5 patches, this is a lot of stuff already in this patch. So keep your expectations limited on other other bug fixes. I think the main focus would be, obviously, like, you have to understand it's a chapter release too. Chapter releases is going to prioritize that things need to work when the chapter comes out. The chapter itself needs to work for people. There's going to be a lot of new people that just buy it, pick it up. That's going to be prioritized. So things that just are broken and don't work need to be fixed. Bouncing will probably be the second, like, sub bullet there. You know, there's only so many other things I'll take on. I'm with you, dude. I wish I could rewind properly, but you know, something I've learned is you got to keep those expectations realistic. That's all. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. That's all. You know, it's. Not long ago, it was also they'd be taking class changes slower in order to better gauge power change. Frustrated to see sweeping changes. Well, I think that's twofold. Okay, and I'm not going to go into depth to it, but there were personnel changes at the company. So that's relevant. That's worth taking into account, and that's not something you're going to see too much publicly shared. But there was personnel changes, and that's going to change not only how things are done, but the pace at which they're done, and just the goals in general. So far, seeing like a kind of different play on certain things. So I'm seeing an impact there from that perspective already. But yeah, like that really stalled things out. We didn't get much in Rastone because of that, man. And I would have liked to see changes come by Rastone as well. But I think that first thing I just mentioned is probably in part what may have stalled or delayed Rastone, which is okay. Like, it just is what it is. I mean, you know, we'll take what we got here. Oh. Yeah, that's why Issa been using it, dude. Zim, Issa, and I tested it. I've been running around using Resto staff on a stand build for years. It's brutal. It's so strong. Anyway, let's keep moving, guys. Let's get through it. So Infectious Claws got changed. They upped that again with a lot of the other PBAOE changes. Werewolf Bleed adjusted this ability and its morphs to follow standardized damage over time rule sets. Oh, I don't want to read the rest. Hang on. Keep scrolling. All right, Purge. Take it easy, dude. Total duration decreased to 4 seconds from 8. Added a 1 second delay between the initial hit and the first tick. Is that it? Is it done? It's all over. It's all over. Unpause, please. Thank you. So they finally did it. They finally sacked Werewolf, right? No more double hits. No more double light attacks. I think that's what I'm hearing. If you don't know this, whenever you hit a light attack on a Werewolf, you did your light attack and the bleed would proc. Hit him with another light attack, the bleed re-procs, and they were procking up front every time. Same goes for sets like Savage Werewolf. They will proc up front. Okay. You know, and all these things, they're basically a lot of what's being pushed here, and you're seeing in the skill audit here, is that a lot of dots are being pushed back. So you know a dot is applied, it gets an X amount of damage value up front, and then you get that delay, and then it starts ticking. Rather than just being like, boom, up front hit, by the way, dot 2. You're dotted. You know, so they're standardizing that effect, which is good. This impacts Werewolf dramatically, though, if that's what's happening. And if that's the case, how does it work if you keep light attacking? I didn't even finish reading it. Let me see. Add a 1 second delay. Decrease the damage per tick by approximately 15% for the base pack. Increase the damage per tick by 25 for Berserker. These abilities can no longer refresh once they are applied to a target. Okay, I think that last bullet answers it. So they don't reapply. You place a bleed on the target, and it lasts until it expires. And even if I hit him when it's 90% done, it's not going to reapply, and I have to wait for it to fade to reapply, I guess. I mean, this will absolutely kick Werewolf's DPS in the balls, though. Great change. Frozen's like, great change. Love it. I like pie. Perfect. Praise pie god. Okay. Bone Colossus is the new werewolf. Yeah, that's right. Throw your werewolf out. get the brand new Bone Colossus. All right. Who doesn't want to? Is it taller? Is the morph taller, or the whatever it is? All right. You're gonna run around light attacking people with Boner Colossus, just knocking out anything in our path. Having flashbacks of my old werewolf days. Toxic ass. I'm gonna start saying that. Whoa, Skylace, what? I'm gonna start saying what? Bone Colossus says awful DPS though. Okay. DPS doesn't matter if it feels amazing. Alright, that's all that matters. Alright, people want to watch something that's amazing. DPS can be half of what's best. But if you knock out, the little wood elf comes in and you can just... People love that. That's where it's at. Good luck. Fuck werewolf. The fuck toxic asshole. Wow. Well said. I mean, yeah, write that one down. I only wish, you know, I should start doing it when I do these patch note reviews. Although I shouldn't, but I should let you guys see the chat. Like, I should let you see the chat, but I'm saying I shouldn't because there's a lot of people that have been coming into this particular one, saying a lot of nasty shit. They're very angry. There's a lot of angry people in here. All right. Well, listen, you dudes, you got Necro. All right. If you're mad at whatever changes happen to your class, just buy Necro Forehead. All right. Easy. Buy Necro, turn into a Boner Colossus, and just start light attacking things. All right. Feel amazing, man. All right. Guild Fighters Guild. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me read this. I want to read the developer comment. Previously, a big portion of Werewolf's burst damage came from the fact that their bleed applied from their light attacks dealt damage immediately and could be spammed in quick succession. That made up for the fact that immediately light attacking would refresh the bleed. Now with the delay, we wanted to ensure you couldn't miss the damage, so we're making sure the bleeds couldn't refresh if they were already active. In addition to this, we've noticed a large disparity of the performance between Pack Leader and Berserker Morph and are currently in the midst of investigating a healthier balance between the two, other than merely adding more damage to one. Has there been anything, like, do you know how badly that Gilliam, how many target dummies have you hit on the werewolf? The Blood Moon's got to, oh man, come on. Fuck. Just take it, just rip it down, start over with it, rebuild it. Here it is, 2020. All right, the Werewolf versus Vampire DLC, all right? This is going to sell. They need to be rebuilt. Let's just start it. Rich will be on board immediately. All right? You know, like a Twilight theme going on. Easy cover. We'll have a moon phase and all the shit going on. Dawn Guard DLC. There it is. Boom. There's the next one. They don't want you to werewolf. They don't. Part of the reason Blood Moon was so strong, aside from amping your light attacks and the attack speed, all those bleeds were ticking every swing. 50% faster. Werewolf just got, like... Here's the thing. Werewolf's light attack ability really got scrapped. And I think there was a particularly interesting part, as dumbed down as the gameplay is, and people can say that and look at it. Sure, that's all there. All right, there's a lot of dumbed down gameplay, by the way, than just simply light attacking. But my point is, you will basically focus on light attacking with the werewolf and then just probably kind of looking to build it to do just fear and howl combos. Like, that's what you'll build more towards. You could do fear and howl, or be more like, hey, I stay in the fight all the time and I light attack a lot. And that's not going to be that worth it anymore, you know? Whatever. They don't want you to have fun. That's why it's a quote of the day in here. We'll move on. Guild, Fighters Guild, Dawnbreaker. Increase the delay of the damage over time to 2 seconds from 1 second. Total duration is now 6 rather than 5, so they push back the first tick a little bit. The stun of this ability no longer ranks up from 1.5 to 2.5. Instead, it is a flat 2. The morph now progressively gets stronger in a damage as it ranks up. This will result in a 5.7 initial hit damage increase and a 9% damage over time portion increase. Okay, so DB is a little stronger, but that first tick comes a little delayed, which does matter. You can usually Dawn Break someone and Steel Tornado after it and still get that first tick before they CC break and begin to recover their health. So, okay. Moving on. Silver Leash. Improve the responsiveness of the pull speed of this ability to reduce situations where players were still CC'd after they were pulled. Okay. Trap Beast. Fix an issue where the initial hit of this ability and its morphs could be dodged. Okay. Turn Undead. Fix an issue where this ability would only fear werewolves if you had the passive skilled tracker enabled. Well, that's what Skilled Tracker does, right? Right? Okay, alright, whatever. Skilled Tracker increases damage. What's the one that is supposed to affect werewolves? The passive was reworked in 2016. All right. Welcome to 2019. We made it. Okay. Did you say it was reworked in 2016 to make me feel that much worse, Gilliam? You did. You did. I missed the comment where you said we're in 2019. Okay. Thank you. Moving on. You did want me to feel bad. Okay. See? He's had an impact on you. Old Gilliam wouldn't have done that. 2018 Gilliam would have been like, oh no, that's all right, dude. So it's just been changed, that's all. 2019 Gilliam, after being with Finn for more than 6 months, you're an idiot. We're in 2019, not 2016. Idiot. Yeah, toxic, that's right. Don't worry, I had the same response as you. I never knew it got changed. Okay. Sigil Order. Accelerate. Increase the duration of the Major Expedition buff from this ability and its morph to 4 seconds from 3. Oh. Note, Channel Acceleration will now last 12 rather than 9. Oh. There's a buff to Accelerate. Accelerate's a good skill. I really, really like Channeled Acceleration, actually. I use it on my Magic DK to move around at times. I like it. It makes me feel good. Young Shady, thank you for 11 months. One more for the sub icon. Welcome back, dude. Thank you. I like that change. Race Against Time Morph. This morph no longer reduces the cost of sprinting by 50% for 4 seconds. Instead, it now grants immunity to snares and immobilizer for 4 seconds. Is pay to win. Are you kidding me? Race Against Time? 4 seconds of snare immunity for Magicka? Oh, man, everyone's gonna... You're gonna need it now, dude. I don't like the change. The sprint cost reduction was nice on light armor. It was. It was really nice. I really liked it on light armor. Because you could kind of, like, not spam it, but sometimes you have to use it 2 or 3 times to get into the fight on a Magicka guy that doesn't have, like, streak, but wants to move quickly. And that sprint reduction was really cool. Okay. I don't know how I feel about it. I have mixed feelings. There's things here I like, and there's some things here I feel like are being taken away. Okay? Alright? Wow. Huh. But interesting. I don't have Somerset. Don't worry, guys. We're doing Somerset giveaways right after this, baby. Okay.
You son of a bitch.
Okay. That's interesting. That's okay. So they gave Magicka something they needed. And it no longer reduces the cost of sprinting by 50%, but it gives immunity to snares and wow. Wow. Okay. Sigil has also, the passives for shields and stuff, which is nice as well. So, having that on bar is not a big deal, dude. No more two-handed on Magicka. Yeah, that didn't make sense that you needed two-handed on Magicka. So, yeah. How much does Accelerate cost? It's a good question. I'm not sure. It's not over the top. I think it's somewhere in the mid 2000. Bye-bye, Misform. Misform will still have its uses and repositioning and such. But yeah. Wow. You know what? You know when you bring this change out, dude? You bring this change out when they can do the copy thing. So if I've completed Sigil on my main, I can buy it on my other guy. You make that change with this one. Hell yeah, brother. Everybody's going to have it then. Everybody. Accelerate costs 3,000 crowns. That's right. 2.2 for race. Okay. Yet Stam doesn't have a purge 5 years later. I don't know if they should have a purge. At least not an instant cast one. But, I don't know. Anyway, let me keep going. Elemental Weapon. Fix an issue where there wasn't an equal chance to apply each status effect. Okay. Real question. You nerfed the other morph of Elemental Weapon, but you nerfed both of them, actually. And they you know, I did tests, okay? I realized I made a build, Ride the Lightning, and the exact build was nerfed because of what I was doing. And I understand it was a little broken, okay? I understand I was taking advantage of the system a little bit with it, okay? But you just threw in arbitrary numbers for it. Just arbitrary. You know, you can still, with infused cost reduction, you can still return yourself stamina over time. You know? I'm kind of, sometimes, all right, I'm not going to pull Gallium deeper and deeper into it. I'm wondering if I caused any of the programmers to get angry and just put in a shitty solution. They're like, fuck it. Just knock the value down so he just stops using it. I think that's what happened to the skill. Because it didn't receive like a proper fix. It didn't. Basically, the problem that the thing that the build abuses was not fixed. They just went and they said, fuck it. Fuck fixing that problem. We're just gonna make the skill shit. And then they made it shit, and that was the solution. I thought it was interesting. Anyway, here we go. Mend Wounds, revamp this ability in its morphs. Good. I didn't like this. I think it's too clunky. Light and Heavies no longer trigger the global cooldown and can be weaved with other abilities. Okay. It might be easier to use then. Feels clunky. It's like a bad overload experience. No longer cost resources to light or heavy with this ability toggled. Light attacks now heal instantly for the same amount that a light attack would damage an enemy. Heavy attacks still channel and heal every second, but has a reduced to be the same scaling of other weapon heavy attacks. It now restores magic every time it successfully heals an ally. What? Wait, it doesn't cost anything and restores magicka and it heal? What am I missing here? What would you say is the cost? I don't get it. Does anyone understand that? Or should I read it again? Mend Spirit also is the morph. This morph now applies Major Ward and Resolve to the target healed for 5 seconds, regardless of whether it was a light or heavy. The cost is your dignity. Oh, okay. Well. So it acts like a normal light and heavy, but heals allies instead of damage. Here's another question. No, never mind. You can still generate ult through healing. We're good there. Okay. Fingers, as I said, bow stamina healers.
Barbecue, huh?
Barbecue, huh? Yeah. 400 bits from Mash, thank you. Petition to have a DK leap be a rule breaker so can leap on the keep walls like the good old days. Yeah. I'm ready for... This is the year of rule breaking. Alright. I'm ready for it. Dude, thank you for 400 bits. I don't even want to read this. Alliance War changes. Caltrops. I gotta... what else do we have? Hang on. Okay. Alright. And I might have missed some stuff, but fuck, dude. I don't want to really take a break right now, but dude, I need a bathroom break and a sit back a minute break. I think we're Let me move through this. Razor Caltrops. This morph no longer snares enemies upon initial hit. Instead, the initial hit deals as much damage as an instant cast AoE spammable ability. Approximately 350% damage increase initial hit. Adjusted the ability to follow the standard dot rule set. Added a 1 second delay between the first. Okay. Increased damage per tick by approximately 8 to make up for that. Anti-cavalry Caltrops increased duration to 15 from 14. Okay, who did this? Who even made the second change? Joe, no one's using anti-cavalry Caltrops. All right, add a second to it. More attractive option now. 15, baby. Yeah. Okay. Support, guard, fix numerous issues with this ability and its morphs. The transfer damage can no longer be mitigated a second time by the transfer target's mitigation or damage reduction. Why not? Why are you nerfing all my builds? Do you guys just watch my stream to nerf stuff? God damn it. The damage is only mitigated once from the initial target's mitigation and damage reduction. This is a joke. It's like the only bugs in the game are what I'm doing on stream, I feel like. The transfer damage now correctly attributed to the attacker and no longer attributed to the initial target. It will no longer scale erroneously with the initial target's damage bonuses. Red Hammer, thank you for the prime. Welcome in. Another one. Son of a bitch. Rainlander. Another one. Thank you. Alright, I don't know why we're spamming Kanye for president, but that's not happening. We're gonna move right along. Caltrops now explode enemy players for 2 million damage. Yeah, I'm ready for that. Transfer damage will now retain the same damage type as the initial attack instead of always being physical. Note that Oblivion damage still cannot be transferred. Okay, Shadow Befouled. Reduce the maximum value of the star to 35 from 55. This was done to allow better balance between healing bonus reductions within the CP system. 10-4. Consumables. Decrease health enchant Oblivion damage. Reduce the damages enchant by 33%. I understand why. Dubious. Reduce the max health and max resources granted by these drinks by approximately 12%. The recoveries remained unchanged. What did they do to Arteum then? Reduce the max health and max resource granted by these foods by approximately 15%. Is this to make up for CP? These buffs were a bit too stat dense in areas that certain builds need to focus on, which greatly reduced consumable options when comparing effectiveness. I see. Fix an issue where a weapon enchantments that dealt damage could be dodged when procced from a damage source that couldn't be dodged. What? Okay. Item sets. Updated wording on item sets. Okay. Okay, advance. Okay, Chlorians. Okay. Dead Wars fix an issue where this would put an erroneous debuff on target with it set out. Okay, Daedric Trickery. Okay, Earthgore. Earthgore, this item now instantly dispels all negative effects rather than one. The heal granted from this set now only heals the target with the lowest health in the area, rather than the 6th lowest. Another one. Good change. Essence Thief. Fix an issue where the pool would fail to materialize if you began sprinting or dodge rolling while it was proccing. Ooh, okay. Grace of Gloom. Fix... rather than... okay. What else do we have? Leeching Plate. Mechanical Acuity. It wasn't firing off some specific direct damage attacks. Okay. I love you, Senpai. Thank you for the T1. Welcome in. Another one coming in. Thank you. Thank you for that brand new sub. They don't want me to have a #1 album in the country. You're not getting it. It's not happening. Essence Thief is nice. It is nice. I'm going to be playing with that. I'm going to check that one out. I already know the set. I've used it and tested it multiple times. It's actually very good on Werewolf. That's where it was easy to use, but now it'll be easier to use on a lot of people. Robes of the Hiss. Reduce the healing of the set by 20%. Fix an issue where this item was able to critically strike. Unbelievable. 2019, they're still crit striking out here. And I'm getting hate. Shield Breaker. Redesign this set so it no longer deals damage when you light attack a target with the shield active. Now it increases your damage dealt by 6% by all times its effect is doubled when attacking targets with damage shield active. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Fix an issue where this item set had reverted to cooldown to 5 seconds rather than 4 seconds. Okay. Swear Mother adjusted the pool from the set to be in line with other abilities, and now will pull targets between 8 and 22 rather than 5 to 28. Note, this set's minimum range is meant to help prevent situations where you could pull targets who are already in melee range. But don't the Cyrodiil passives increase that range, and then they won't apply to Swear Mother? So essentially, we're getting robbed. Son of a bitch. Essence Thief will be shit because there will be an orb that will fall down from the vertical surface if you're on a keep wall. Well, yeah. I mean, it should be able to proc pretty frequently now. Tried playing a couple times before I quit. Just reading a question, chat. Sorry, it's kind of hard to understand. Someone suggested me a guide for a total newbie. I can. Yeah, there you go. Beginner guide. Perfect. Skylace got it. You just need a beginner. Yeah. Everything you need's there and on that site, dude. Fat Africa, welcome back. 9 months. Thank you for the resub, dude. Another one. Twilight Remedy. Fix an issue where activating your own synergy from things such as Haven or versus could proc this set. Okay. That will be good for Necros. Procking their own synergies. Updated the visuals of guards and generals for each alliance. Melee guards will no longer use Bash or Power Bash. Really? Kill 20 quests will now include 20 Necros. There will no longer be a double confirmation window when entering Cyrodiil. Okay. Towers can no longer be destroyed. We made these changes as part of the ongoing efforts to overall... I'm not even going to get in this one right now. Siege damage and CP enabled is now 30% harder hitting. We knew this was coming. No CP remains same. Nailed it. That's a good change. Well done. Siege should be feared. It's fearsome. The only gripe I have with Siege is I don't like the stacking ground effects. I don't like 6, 7, 8 scatter shot / meat bags in one spot at one choke point. I think that kind of thing needs to go. And I know that will require some work from the team if they agreed and intended to fix that. You know, having Siege strategically fired when people push, to be like, oh, the enemy's pushing and 6 ballistas fire at the same time, God bless. That actually takes coordination. You know, having 8 assholes shoot different fucking... Because you can have... 3 people can shoot 8 different Siege at a doorway. And those 3 people can have like 8, 9 AoEs going in an area that will instantly kill people. Instantly. And it's just like, what's the point? We have to hit another wall down? It's I don't think that's good. Rather, it should be, hey, spread that AoE out. I hit the front of the door, so I'm not going to stack it on you. I'll hit somewhere behind that, and so forth. Okay. Scoria Home got changed. Let me check it out. I'm probably going to miss some things and have to go through some of it again. I just kind of want to wrap up. The proc from this item set will now display a ring around the target when it is incoming to improve the clarity of the threat. Well, good luck with that. There's no counter to it. Woo! Spread them wings. That's right. Spreading wings won't work. When's the patch going live? So the PTS is still down, I believe. Either way, I need to be right back. That is it for the first pass of the patch notes. I will be looking at these more. Each PTS cycle every week. It's usually every other week. We're actually going to get some real concrete stuff. So next Monday, we probably won't have something but general bug fixes. The next week after that, we'll probably have another bounce pass in 2 weeks from today. What I will do now, though, is just wrap it up there. I'm going to shoot a giveaway off here in the stream. Which is easy to enter. All you have to do is make a little orc face in chat, and you can enter the giveaway.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes. I need to be right back. All right.